Hey there, Kayla. Look, this is kind of hard for me to say, so I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I would appreciate it if you didn't come to the wedding tomorrow. And let me clarify what I mean by that. You are not allowed to come to the wedding. In other words, do not come. That is a direct order from me, the bride. I don't understand, Sandra. Why are you banning me from my own brother's wedding? Because it's my wedding, not his. The bride is the star of the show, right? That means what I say goes, and I say you're not allowed. Okay, can you at least give me an explanation as to why, though? If you must know, it's because we're going to have a very special guest at the wedding tomorrow. You probably wouldn't even know who they were if I told you, but suffice to say, they're a really big deal. They're one of the most popular K-pop groups on the scene right now. Uh-huh. Well, that certainly is impressive, but I'm not getting the connection. What does that have to do with you banning me from the wedding? Connect the dots for me, Sandra. I just knew it would go this way. You welfare queens are all the same. If you had any real skills to provide to society, then you'd be putting them to use. But no, you're completely useless, so you just live your whole life on the taxpayer's dollar. Welfare queen? It's not like I want to ban you from my wedding, seeing as you're my fiancé's sister and all, but I don't think I could handle the embarrassment of having someone like you being at my wedding, especially not with such a world-famous band coming. Tickets for their concerts cost more than you make in a month. Maybe if you actually had a respectable career, I'd let you come, but the way things stand, you don't deserve to be in such elite company. Hold on, Sandra, why are you calling me a welfare queen? Because you are? I'm not getting any welfare. I probably pay more net taxes than most people in this country. Kayla, do you really think I'm that stupid? I know you quit your job. Tim told me. Looks like Tim didn't give you the whole story, though. Yes, you're right. I did quit my old job at the company I was working for. But the reason I did that was because I wanted to go into business for myself. I'm doing freelance work right now, and I'm doing quite well for myself, thank you very much. So I'm not any sort of welfare queen. Freelance work? Are you joking? Is that what you call it? Well, that's what it's called, so... I'll bet you think you're such hot stuff. I don't need this job. I'm gonna work for myself. You sound like a teenager running away from home. Sure, some people can be successful working for themselves, but you? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I don't know what you want me to tell you, Sandra. I had a business plan that I'd been working on for quite some time. All the pieces finally fell into place, so I took the leap and quit my job. And like I said, it's going pretty well. I'm proof positive that people don't need to work for someone else to make a living. You're absolutely right, Kayla. You don't need to work. The government is more than willing to provide you with whatever you need. Again, I told you I'm not getting any welfare from the government. No charity, nothing. Do I need to show you my tax forms to get you to believe me? I doubt you even know how to file your taxes. I'm sure you've got your big dreams of being successful running your own business, but seriously, 99% of people who do what you do fail because you just don't have what it takes. And I have no reason at all to think you're any different. So you can sell your story to your other freelance buddies while you're waiting in line at the soup kitchen. I'm not buying. Seriously, Sandra, what is up with you? I'm trying to explain to you that you're under a major misunderstanding, but all you're doing is insulting me. I'm just telling it like it is. If you think the simple truth about what you do is an insult, that's pretty revealing, I'd say. Don't like it? Try actually standing on your own 2 feet for a change. Oh, wait, you can't. You couldn't even make it working for a company like a normal person. You're never gonna be able to make it on your own. Don't worry, though. This country's taxpayers will be forced to pay for your lazy lifestyle in any case. I have never met anyone like you before, Sandra. You have this insane narrative for yourself that the only way to make a respectable living is to have a dead-end 9-to-5 job. Which is bizarre because almost all the wealthiest people on the planet right now built their own companies from the ground up. And again, while I may not be making Elon Musk kinds of money, I am making more than enough to support myself. Oh, would you just give it up already? No one believes you, Kayla. This is just because you're jealous of your brother, isn't it? Unlike you, Tim is actually an elite businessman working for a respectable company. He's working his way up the corporate ladder one step at a time. You know, how normal people get ahead in life. He's not dumb enough to waste his time, money, and skills by trying to work for himself. Why are you so obsessed with corporations? And even if you did think that the path Tim took to success is the best one, why would you be so bitter and resentful towards me because I chose another path? I'm not bitter or resentful, really. I don't feel much of anything toward you at all. I just don't want you to do anything that would ruin my plan, that's all. Your plan? What plan? Ever since I was a little girl, I've had the same dream of a perfect marriage. My husband would be a kind, handsome man making tons of money working at a big company. His parents would be just as kind, and his mom would never give me any of the typical crap that women give their daughters-in-law. And I would live happily ever after with my husband providing for my every need. That's what I've always wanted to have, and I am not letting you get in my way. I can't help but notice that you've already had your dream come true. My brother is a kind and handsome man who makes a good salary at a good company. My parents are super kind, and my mom would never do any of the typical abusive stuff you see in soap operas. Isn't that everything you just said you wanted? Exactly! I'm just a few hours away from finally having my perfect marriage. And then you had to go and quit your job to be a frickin' freeloader for the rest of your life. You might have just ruined everything I've worked so hard for. What? There is no room in my perfect marriage for a sister-in-law who's an unemployed loser. Your brother and parents are perfect. I brag about them to my friends all the time. But what am I going to tell them when they find out about you, huh? How am I supposed to explain that? You could always, tell them the truth. Since I'm not unemployed, I'm not a loser, and I am not a welfare queen. Sure, working for yourself means you don't have a steady income from month to month, but I've consistently made more than I did at my old job every single month since going independent. Isn't that something you could brag about? My God, Kayla, no one believes you. You want me to lie and tell them you're a big success? If they found out you're really a loser, they'll never trust me again. Oh, and just for the record, when you inevitably go bankrupt and lose whatever crappy apartment you're living in right now, don't even think about begging Tim to support you. I will never let him give you a dime. I don't need any money from him. Even if my new gig doesn't work out as well as I planned, I'll have plenty of experience that I could use in the corporate world. All I'd need to do is update my resume and start looking for jobs again. And what happens when no one wants to hire you because your big business venture went down in flames? I doubt that will happen, but even if both my business and my job hunt don't work out well, I guess I'll have no choice but to make things work somehow. Yeah, so like I said, you're going to be a parasite on society, sucking up all the tax money that hardworking people like Tim pay to support you. I'm done talking to you. This is giving me a headache. Do not come to the wedding tomorrow. You got that? If possible, I'd prefer you skipped town and never came back. I don't even want my friends to know that you exist. And most importantly, I don't want that band to have to perform in front of a pathetic lowlife. Wow, Sandra, I guess you're really serious about keeping me away from your wedding. I am dead serious. You don't deserve to be in Tim's company, much less his family. Not only is he crazy successful in his career, he is such a big deal that he can afford to have one of the biggest bands in the world play at his wedding. He is the best thing in the world that's ever happened to me, but you are the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Tomorrow is the day my dream officially becomes a reality, and you are not going to be there to mess things up for me. Sandra, I have been looking forward to this wedding for months now. I love Tim. He's my older brother and we've always been close. Are you really going to stop me from going to my own brother's wedding? And over a misconception about my work situation? Let me put it all out there one more time. I am not a welfare queen. I'm not a loser. I am not a parasite on society. I work very hard and am doing very well for myself. I would never do anything to embarrass you or Tim at the wedding tomorrow. So please, Sandra, won't you reconsider? No, I am tired of having to tell you this. No means no. So, for the last time, you are not welcome at the wedding. I am the bride, and what I say goes. Are you really sure you want to do this? I'm not repeating myself anymore, Kayla. You say you love your brother? Well, if you really love him, then you'll shut your big fat mouth, do what I say, and stay the hell away from my wedding. Hey, what are you doing right now? Knowing you, you're probably just scrolling through your social media feeds right now, aren't you? So hurry up and get over to the chapel. You still have your invitation, don't you? I need you to come and entertain my wedding guests. Huh? What happened to our conversation from yesterday? I was under the impression you didn't want me at your wedding under any circumstances. Yeah, well, circumstances have changed. The worst possible thing just happened, and everyone is super down over here. The mood is awful, and I can't think of anything else to do, so you have to figure out some way to get everyone to cheer up. Slow down, Sandra. You lost me. Exactly what in the world is going on over there, and what do you want me to do about it? It's that stupid K-pop band that Tim booked to perform today. They just up and canceled on us. Can you believe that? I can't imagine what kind of money Tim must have had to shell out in order to get them to come. I don't know why I ever even liked them in the first place. Their music is so last week. There are way better K-pop bands on the scene right now. Oh, I see. So they pulled out at the last minute? Well, that's a bummer. I'll bet everyone was really looking forward to seeing the show. Right? Seriously, this sucks big time. Everything was going great until we got that news, and that's why I need you to come and lighten up the mood. How am I supposed to do that exactly? I don't know, you figure it out. Play the guitar or something. I don't know how to play the guitar. Yeah, and that's even better. It'll be hilarious to watch a loser like you fail at playing the guitar, just like you failed at starting your own business. Go and buy a used guitar and tacky outfit from a thrift shop and get down here as soon as possible. It's not like you have any work to be doing, so you can come and be a clown for me for an hour or so. Not that I'm gonna pay you or anything, just getting to see your precious brother's wedding should be reward enough, right? Isn't that what you wanted? Just who do you think you are, anyway? First, you spent an hour yesterday ridiculing me for my life and career decisions. And now you think that you can summon me to entertain you and your wedding guests like I'm some sort of court jester? I am not a clown, I'm not a performer, and I don't answer to you. Just shut up and get over here already. All the people here are paying the taxes that support your lifestyle, you know. The least you could do is come and tell your benefactors thank you. And remember, this is the only way I'm gonna let you see your brother get married. If you want to come to the wedding, you're gonna have to work for it. Sorry, but I'm busy at the moment. I can't work for you. I have a pre-existing commitment to a client of mine. And I'm very busy right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would leave me in peace. Huh? You know the K-pop band that canceled on you guys this morning? They called me up a little while ago and asked for help. They said they were bored and wanted to go and see the sights around town. So I'm on a chartered tour bus right now and trying to figure out which places can be privately booked in the next hour or so. Then, once we get there, I'll have to translate between them and the people on site, so I have my work cut out for me today. Wait, what? Hold on. Did you just say that you're on a chartered bus with the band that was supposed to perform at our wedding today? And they called you? As in they actually know you? How is that even possible? Why would they call some nobody like you? Explain yourself. What the hell is going on? There's not much to explain. I'm just doing my job. Well, I guess we've been working together for so long that you could say we've become more like friends than just people who work together. What? I told you, you were under a lot of misconceptions. For example, you thought that Tim was the one who booked them? No, I was the one who invited them. That doesn't make sense. You invited them? How? They're one of the hottest K-pop groups. And you're just nobody. An unemployed loser. There is no way that you would have any kind of connections with a group like that. I was trying to tell you this throughout our entire conversation yesterday, but I am not unemployed. The company I used to work for was a travel agency aimed at upper-class Koreans. Most of the work we did was for businessmen, retirees, or just people looking to take a trip overseas. But every once in a while, we'd get requests from performers, actors, politicians, and so on. People who wanted to travel without every single person in the world knowing about it. That's how I came to be acquainted with these guys. Really? Yeah, and they liked my work so much that they started dropping hints about wanting to deal with me directly rather than going through the company. So I took those hints, resigned from my company, and ever since then I've been their exclusive travel agent. They've even introduced me to a bunch of other Korean bands. No way! Yes way, name a K-pop band, I've worked with them before. And our relationship isn't just professional, I'm on pretty friendly terms with all the members and staff personally as well. Then a while back they asked me about a brand new project they wanted help with, making a music video. Which brings me to why I was able to invite them to your wedding. They have a new song coming out that's about a wedding. For the music video, they thought it would be great to shoot the music video for the song in an actual wedding. I had told them that my brother was getting married soon and they thought it would be the perfect fit. We were all looking forward to it, but unfortunately, you went and banned me from coming. That's insane! Like, are you being for real? I thought that Tim was the one who got them to come. But it was really you? I can't believe it. You're really working with all the most famous K-pop bands? I'm sure you're shocked, but I'm just gonna move along with my story, okay? Even though you banned me from your wedding, the band still had everything ready to go for filming the video. But when I told them that they would have to go without me, they said if I wasn't gonna go, they weren't going either. After all, they were only doing this as a personal favor to me. So we're just going to have to find another couple willing to let a world-famous K-pop band film a music video at their wedding. And in the meantime, I'm taking them around to see the sights of the city. Wait, Kayla? Is there any way you could get them to change their minds? I'm really, really sorry that I told you not to come. I'll contact the venue staff right away and have them set out a seat for you, okay? So please, we would love for you to come to our wedding, along with all your friends in the band, of course. Our wedding is perfect for a music video. Tim pulled out all the stops when we were planning it. Everything is so gorgeous. Sorry, but that's not gonna happen. The guys are already in the mood for sightseeing. You know how artists can be, right? I love these guys, but they can be pretty obstinate at times. Once they set their minds on doing something, it is impossible to talk them out of it. No! So yeah, I'm afraid I won't be able to come and entertain your guests for you. Maybe you could try and play the guitar instead of me. Anyway, we both have a lot of work to do, so I'll go ahead and take my leave from this conversation now.
Kayla, are you there? I thought that you weren't coming today because you got sick or something. Now I hear that Sandra banned you from coming?
Well, yeah, that is what happened. But do you really have the time to talk about this with me right now? What happened to your wedding?
That can wait. I have much more important issues to sort out before it moves forward.
Yeah? Like what?
Sandra had been pretty down since this morning, which I totally understood. You got sick and couldn't make it, and then the band you invited to come along canceled on us. But then, just a few minutes ago, she started looking like she had seen a ghost or something. I was worried about her, so I went up to ask her if she was okay, and then she started screaming at me at the top of her lungs.
About what?
About you! We were in the middle of the reception, and all of a sudden she grabbed me by my shirt collar, and she was going on and on about how I should have told her more about your work. I mean, sure, maybe I hadn't told her much about you, but still, what the hell?
Uh-oh.
And all the other guests were just as confused as I was. I finally managed to get her to calm down, and then she told me everything. That she lied to me when she said you were sick, and that the truth was that she had told you not to come. Also, that she never would have done that if she had known that you were friends with the band.
Wow, she really told on herself, huh? But for real, she was literally grabbing you by the shirt collar? That's pretty nuts. I guess she realizes just how badly she screwed up.
Then it's true? She really was lying to me about why you weren't coming? It's still hard to believe she would lie to my face like that.
If it would help, I can send you screenshots of our text conversation. I already have them saved. I was shocked too when she suddenly banned me from coming the day before the wedding. Oh, and she also called me a welfare queen, if you can believe that. Well, believe it or not, I'll send you those screenshots too.
What? Sandra actually said that to you? What has gotten into her?
I don't know either, but it seems like she really doesn't understand freelance work. She thinks it's on the same level as being unemployed, apparently. She said that having an unemployed loser and parasite on society like me at the wedding would be humiliating.
Oh my God.
And that's not all. Just a little bit ago, she told me to come and entertain the guests for her.
What? She told you to come after banning you last night?
Ridiculous, right? But it's true. She told me that I should go and buy a guitar from a thrift store and play it in front of the wedding so everyone could laugh at me and lighten up the mood.
This cannot be happening. I don't even know what to say at this point. I'm literally speechless.
I'll send you all the screenshots of that, too. Trust me, I haven't even told you the half of it. She was really laying into me. Her ranting didn't really make a whole lot of sense, but the gist of it is, she has a dream of a perfect marriage with a perfect man and perfect in-laws, and I don't fit into her fantasy life. And yes, I have screenshots of that, too.
Okay. I think I need to go and have a little talk with Sandra. And the wedding isn't on pause anymore, it's canceled.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Tim.
No, Kayla, you have nothing to apologize for. None of what happens next is your fault, so please don't worry about anything. I'll come by your place sometime soon to give you a proper apology in person for what happened yesterday and today.
You don't need to do that, but I know you'll come anyway. That's just the kind of guy you are.
You know me pretty well, huh?
I am your sister, after all. Well, have fun talking to Sandra. I'll start sending you those screenshots now. Give me a second to find them all. What am I gonna do? The wedding was canceled! Oh, this sucks. Look at the bright side, Sandra. Since you guys hadn't actually gotten legally married, you won't have to go through the trouble of getting divorced. Isn't that great? Great? How is any of this great? I wanted to marry Tim. But thanks to you having some weirdo job, he's furious at me. I'm gonna apologize to him, so you need to help talk him into forgiving me. Don't you know anything about the man you were going to marry? I told you how obstinate these K-pop guys are, right? Well, they're nothing compared to Tim. That man is laser-focused like no one in the world. That's how he climbed up the corporate ladder in his company so quickly. What are you saying, Kayla? That I should just give up on Tim? Give up on my dream? Yep. Doesn't seem to me like you have any other choice. You will never be his wife now, and the sooner you accept that, the easier it'll be for you to move on. What am I gonna do? All your band member buddies are single, right? Could you introduce me to one of them? You have got to be kidding me. I'm serious. How else am I gonna get my dream marriage? Even if I wanted to, which I don't, I can't. They already left to go back to Korea. No! The plan was to go back home right after the wedding anyway. They're busy guys. Now I have to work this afternoon, so I'll leave you to sort out the ruins of your life. Good luck in your future endeavors, Sandra. I hope you find a new dream husband for yourself. Sandra and Tim officially broke off their engagement soon after that. Sandra did her best to make excuses for herself, trying to claim it was all one big misunderstanding. But once Tim showed her all the screenshots of our conversation, she ran out of excuses pretty quickly. She gave up on marrying Tim, but apparently she still had some fight left in her. She tried to sue the band for breach of contract. She wanted me to send a letter to the band in Korea saying that they caused her massive emotional suffering by canceling the wedding performance. The problem, though, she doesn't speak Korean. So who do you suppose she asked to translate it for her? Me! This is just between you and me, but I charged her double my usual rate. Obviously, she can't sue them, but she just doesn't know that. And as long as she's willing to pay me to translate her pointless, threatening letters for her, I don't see any reason to tell her.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey Frank, where are you right now? The wedding is about to start here in a couple more minutes. I told you that I'd be going to a bathroom for just a second, and when I came out you were gone. Where did you go?
I'm sorry, Wendy. I just can't see myself going through with marrying you in the end. I decided that I'm going to be marrying Maya instead.
Huh? Are you talking about the Maya that I am friends with right now? Why are you planning to marry someone like Maya now over me? Today you and I are supposed to be getting married, and we are both supposed to have our wedding today.
Well, you are not my destined woman. The only person I found I'm destined for is Maya, and there is no one else I want.
What the heck do you mean by destined woman?
For a very long time now, I've always thought that it was really cute. She has a perfect straight black hair, and she's very calm and relaxed, and she's just so fragile. I have always been wanting to be the man to protect her, and that's what I'm going to do. She is the woman I've always been dreaming of, and there's nothing getting in the way of me and her.
Uh-huh.
Today, Maya actually came into the dressing room with me, and right there in front of me, she began to break down and cry. She told me I'm the first man that she's ever met that she really wanted to marry.
Maya said something like that to you while crying?
But when she stopped crying, she told me that I'm your groom, so she just gave up on me. As a way of making one everlasting memory with me before it became yours, she hugged me. If she's gonna do something as adorable as that to me, there's no other way around her. And so right then and there, I told her my feelings for her, and we both left the wedding while you went to the bathroom.
You have to be lying, right? So you're telling me that you both agreed to just run away from our wedding today?
Well, it's not like I can marry you anymore. You happen to be a really strong woman, Wendy, and you can take care of yourself, so don't worry. But when it comes to someone as cute and petite as Maya, I can't let her go on alone. She has never even had any experiences with another man, so she's still in her prime. I need to have her, and I'm not going towards anyone else.
What?
Men are easily taken away by things like that, Wendy. There's nobody else in this world I'd love to marry besides her. And so I can't let her go away crying like that when she wants to be with me. Especially when she says I'll be her first boyfriend and husband. She is nothing like you, who has already had 5 boyfriends before, and have been pretty much used up.
What did he just say?
You've already been with 5 other men, so? But unlike you, Maya's pristine. She has never been with another man before, not even for a kiss. She's fresh and clean, and that's what I love so much about her. I've learned today that a fresh woman like her is the only woman I can marry.
I have never made fun of you or anything for never having been with any other woman before me, and me having 5 boyfriends before you is nothing compared to some people.
Well, it doesn't matter. You've been used up, and I don't need a wife like that. I'm going to be marrying Maya now, and there is nothing you can do to stop me. I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to give up on me.
Wendy, have you still not gotten back to me about that wedding invitation I sent to you? It's been a week now since I sent that over to you, and I'm sure the mail does not take that long within our city. Not getting a response from me is a response, right? Who do you think would want to come to your guys' cobbled together wedding anyway? What? That's so mean. Are you not going to come and celebrate your friend's wedding with her? We have been great friends ever since middle school, right? What makes you my friend anymore? You literally took Frank from me at my wedding. And ever since that day, I have not been able to get a word out of you until one day you texted me about your guys' wedding invitation. Stop freaking messaging me right now, okay? You really think I'd want to be at that wedding for the 2 of you? Stop getting so upset with me. I'm sure you'll be able to find yourself another boyfriend really soon, right? So, just let me have Frank and things will all get better for the 2 of us. But man, I cannot believe I got to become the wife of a very well-educated doctor. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to be with someone as brilliant as Frank. Then go out and find your own man like that instead of stealing mine. Don't you already have a bunch of men under your belt now that you can go back to? So go ahead and find one of those men that happens to be brilliant to you and marry them, please. But the issue is, recently all the men I've had around me started to vanish. I have been wanting to keep them all around me, but one by one they find someone else and are gone before I even know it. I'd assume they got tired of waiting for you to come to them. Well, if you want someone like Frank, then maybe it's time you started a search outside your circle. What? I really don't want to have to do any work of my own finding a man I want. It takes about a year to find a man, and then you have to go out with them for about 6 months before you can expect anything to proceed, right? And then it takes another few years to be dating them seriously. And then you can finally think about marriage after so much has already gone by. I'm sorry, but that is too much time and work for someone like me. So, of course, it is way easier for me to just see how a man treats his woman in a relationship and then swoop right in to steal if I like his character. So that's the way you chose to steal Frank from me? But you were trying to be a little sly dog about your man this whole time. To think that you'd be going out with someone who's a doctor and would never tell your friends that? And not only that, but you barely let me around him to see just how nice he really is. So by the time I found out about Frank, I had no other choice but to grab him. Again, I'm sorry, but a man like Frank is once in a lifetime to find. I am not playing around here, you freaking mess. You think that just because your friend's man happens to be your type, you have the right to steal him from her? Wow, scary. It's because you act like that Frank decided to leave you, right? He happens to like quiet and cute little girls more than women like you who start to yell about everything. I think the whole marriage you guys planned on was all going to fall apart anyway, so I'm saving you the trouble by taking him away from you now. Then he's probably going to end up leaving you at some point too, right? To him, he thinks of you as this cute and petite little angel, but on the inside, you love to go around playing with other men, right? You've even kept at least 10 other guys around you since college, just in case you needed someone to play with or use. What about that makes you so cute and pure like he thinks? Go ahead and keep crying about it. Men are so easy to deceive, Wendy. He thinks just because I have simple hair and I'm small and I'm quiet around him, I've never had any experience with other men before. I can't believe that it was so easy for someone like me to get a man like him away from you. But I guess he has no idea about what us women are really like, and that's why it was so simple this time around. All I had to do was make him think I was a virgin and never knew anything about men before, and just like that, he couldn't keep his eyes off me. Right, it's kind of insane how simple it was for you to get Frank to fall for you like that. Just as you'd been wishing for, he fell head over heels for you. He was telling me the whole time that he felt so bad for you because you look small and weak, and that's why he wanted to be the one to protect you as your husband. Seriously, Frank was too dang easy. To think that a man who is now a doctor and has an amazing education could be so easy to snag. He really is going to make an excellent husband for me. He is the perfect type for me that I've wanting for so long. I had honestly thought I'd gotten used to how much of a weirdo you are, but to think you'd actually go after your own friend's fiancé to steal? And hearing your reason for doing so being that having to find your own man is a pain in your butt, God, it pisses me off. No matter what you have to say about me, all I can hear from you is crying and whining like a dog. I'm sorry that you have to live a life of such extreme pain now over this, but just give it up already and be happy for me. Your friend is finally going to get married, so please come to my wedding. And I'm expecting a big present from you as well. Now, I'll be waiting on that reply from you soon. Geez, you actually came to my wedding today, huh? The fact that you were thrown away by your own fiancé before, I'm amazed you actually amassed the courage to come here. Huh? You were the one that sent me an invitation to be here, right? And you even started to text me a week after sending asking me to come and that you wouldn't take no for an answer. That was all just because I'm a friend of yours from middle school. I just wanted to reach out to you to see how things were going. But I thought things would be so hard for you and you'd never be able to make it here. However, to my surprise, you actually came to my wedding looking normal. Do you not even have a sense of pride for yourself anymore? I'm sure you're the one with less pride than me, right? You wanted to get married so badly and so quickly that you decided to steal a friend of yours' fiancé from here. That right there shows that you have zero pride in yourself. Huh? You had your groom stolen from you on the day of your wedding, so what makes you think you can act all tough in front of me? You're the freaking loser, so you don't even try to make fun of me. Wow! Scary! I can see why someone like Frank would throw you away for talking and acting like that. Frank happens to like quiet and cute girls after all. So, if he saw how you were acting with me right now, he'd be off your wagon in no time. Trying to make fun of me like that is not going to work. In my case, all I have to do is make sure that I keep my composure in front of him and he'll never question me whatsoever. Also, I don't even have to do anything because my looks were already enough to win him over. He is not going to suspect a thing from me and will forever be mine. Well, Frank so happens to be a simpleton when it comes to things like women. He judges a woman based off their looks alone and never questions the person they are deep down. But I guess a prideless dog and her idiot man would make a great couple in the end, right? Well then, you're a simpleton yourself, you loser. Just because you got an invitation from me, you assumed it was serious and actually came to the wedding of your ex-fiancé and friend? You're such an idiot for actually coming today. Well then, keep acting like a simpleton and celebrate the wedding of your ex and the woman that stole him from you. You think I'm actually here to celebrate you too? Huh? You think I came here seriously wanting to celebrate two jerks like you guys? You have been my friend for years and years now, and you think I'd be the kind of person to do something that shallow? What is going on with you now? Are you here to try and get Frank back from me? Well, I'm sorry, Wendy, but that's not going to happen. He is very much invested in me now and would never budge for a loser like you. No matter how hard you try to win him back over, he'd never choose a freak like you, okay? Who the hell would want to steal a dunce like him back? I don't give a crap about some pile of garbage like that anymore. What? Then why are you here? Well, you can look forward to learning that really soon. I have a very huge surprise for my friend of so many years that I want to show today. What the hell? What the hell was that cruddy speech about? What the hell are you wanting to do to me? It's because of you that the wedding is already going downhill now. What? Going downhill? But you were so happy and so was everyone else. What about any of that crap would make any of us happy? After that speech you gave to everyone, Frank's eyes rolled back into his head and he passed out. And because of that, everyone got up in a panic and started to try and help Frank. Not a single person here was happy about the speech you gave. What? Are you sure about all that? Everyone was able to hear an amazing speech from your bestest friend today, and that made everyone so moved and happy. After everyone heard about the real person you were beneath that mask, they were all shocked. Huh? Towards the end of middle school, you brought your first boy ever over to your parents' house and made love to him, which led you to wanting more and more. Your addiction to men became so bad that last year, you almost didn't pass 8th grade and could have held back a year. But you did make it to high school, where things only got worse, and by the time you got into college, you were at your prime of playing around with other men and never paying attention to anything but them. Around that time, you happened to have 15 different men you were sleeping with, and even recently, you've still had a few, right? And it's because all of your experience with different men all at the same time, you happen to have 2 cases of abortion under your belt, right? Well, I'm glad to see that my ex would rather be with a woman like you now, and I hope everything goes well between you, and you both know that he knows all about you. And that is why I gave that speech today, all as a way of showing my support for 2 awful people getting married. You really did it this time by telling everyone about me. I was doing so well lying to Frank about being this quiet and pure petite woman, and now you've ruined all my work now. He really thought I'd never even touch another man before him, and he wanted to be my husband because of that. Man, I never thought he'd actually pass out after hearing all of that juicy information about you. However, I did think that this speech would shock him a little bit. Wendy, you are a horrible woman. You came into one of your best friend's weddings and completely ruined it for her. I'm never going to forgive you for something like this. What? It's because this wedding is for my best friend and my ex that I tried so hard with that speech. I thought that since today would be a way of saying you both were finally going to become a close couple forever, it would be wrong of you to continue to lie. I mean, Frank was telling me all about how you two are destined to be together, so I thought the both of you should know everything about the other. And even the truth about you happens to be a real eyesore. Since you both are meant to be, the truth shouldn't hurt anything. Stop it with all that BS right now. Because you've caused all of this, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to make you take full responsibility for my wedding being completely ruined. What? You'd sue one of your best friends like that? You're nothing to me now, Wendy. I bet you wanted to get some kind of revenge on me for stealing your fiancé, but doing something as horrible as this as a way of revenge will not slide in my books. I am going to take this to court and sue your butt. I see. I guess you and I aren't really friends anymore, are we? Well, I got it now. Since that seems to be the case now, I'm going to sue you as well. What? Well, you did come to my wedding all with the plan of stealing the groom from me, right? And you were successful at doing so. The only reason nothing major ever happened after that day to you is because Frank decided to pay for the whole wedding still, even though it was completely ruined. But if you're going to try and sue me now, then this is a completely different situation for me. Because now, I have every right to sue you and have you pay a settlement to me for what happened then. You're lying. But if the both of us are going to be suing one another now, there is no point in us trying to get the money from each other, right? So, how about we both agree to just let bygones be bygones at this point? But if I let you get away with this, then what'll happen to my wedding today? It's because of you that it's going to be cancelled now. Are you trying to say to me that my only choice now is just to let go? What happened without any form of punishment towards you? If you really want to try suing me, then go ahead. But that only means I'll sue you for what you did to my wedding. Well, it looks like as though your wedding is finished now, so I'm heading home. And since we're no longer friends anymore, can you make sure to never talk to me this much ever again?
Hey, Wendy? Was everything you were saying in your speech yesterday really true? Is Maya really that kind of a nasty whore?
Well, if you left all that part out, she'd be a decent person. But the fact that she's been playing with so many men in her life without a single care in the world, that's really tarnished her image really bad.
Really? She told me she'd never been with any other men before me, though. She said that men were scary and that's why she'd never gone out with them before. She said that it was her first time holding hands with a man to me and her first time going on a date with someone to me.
Dang. She was telling you lies like that as well? Did you know she happened to even have a boyfriend all the way back in elementary school? I'm sorry, but she has been around men all her life and makes sure to let people like me know that.
Really?
If you really think about it, I'd say she's been with at least 100 different men, and at least half of them have slept with her. Wait, maybe it's her having slept with 100 men now and she's been with 200.
You're lying, right? How could someone as petite and innocent as her have slept with that many men? And she's been around at least 200 different men than you think? I was fooled by this whole dang time.
Well, it's your fault for being fooled by her that easily when you were already with me, right? You think a woman who has been scared of men all her life and never dated anyone would be coming into the men's dressing room to see you at our wedding and then come to you crying and hugging you?
Well, at the time.
But what does it matter the kind of person she's been at this point? You told me she's the woman you're destined to be with, so there's no need to judge her that much when she's the only person for you. That was your reason for throwing me aside and going after her at her wedding, right?
What?
So, go ahead and enjoy your wonderful life with the woman of your dreams. I think the two of you are perfect with each other.
Wait a second, Wendy. Do you think you and I can get back together now? I'll make sure to break things off with Maya for you. I think you're the one I'm really destined to be with.
What? What the actual frick are you going on about now?
Don't worry. I totally understand how you're feeling right now. You still love me, and that's why you told me at the wedding about who Maya really is, right? You came to our wedding in order to save me from her lies and get back with me, right? Even though I happened to be possessed by that whore for a little while, you still knew deep down that you had feelings for me, right? Since I've now been able to see how much you still love and care for me, I want to marry you.
Jesus Christ, Frank.
I'm sorry that I was fooled by the stupid witch. I hadn't been with any other woman besides you at that time, And so I just wanted to see what another woman could be like. It's because of my lack of experience with women that I hurt you, and I'm sorry. But you have to understand now that I only love one woman, and that's you. So let's get married.
No, I already have myself a new man now. Just after our wedding was destroyed by you, I ran into him and we started to date, so there's no me coming back to you.
What? You have a new boyfriend? Can you please slow down for me? It's only been 1 month since you and I broke up, right? Yet you happen to get another man that easily after. You were just another whore like Maya, aren't you?
My God, Frank.
Crying out loud. Are all the women on this planet freaking whores or something now? Can I at least find one other woman who hasn't been with other men? There must be at least one girl on this planet that is still pure for me.
Shut the freaking hell up, would you? It's not that all women are whores for being with another man. Rather, you are just a freaking child of a man and deserve no respect from any of us good women. You are the kind of lost cause of a man that not even your mother would want to love you anymore. So, stop blaming me for all your problems when it's completely your fault that you are a complete waste of everyone's time and energy.
What?
You really think you're going to find yourself an innocent woman when you act like that? You said you wanted yourself a pure and cute little girl to protect like the man you think you are, right? Well, there aren't any women like that in the world for you because everybody is stronger and better than you. Every single woman and girl on this planet is stronger than you could ever be, and all of them can manage on their own without a parasite like you latching onto them. Nobody freaking needs you, Frank.
Hey, what's gone into you, Wendy? You were a lot more powerful with your speech than you have ever been around me. Saying things like that about someone like me makes you look like a jerk, you know?
What the hell, Frank? Right now, the man I call my boyfriend is sitting next to me reading all this and laughing because of the things I'm calling you. Yet you seem to keep thinking women like me will never find a man and that we're all whores ourselves. It's because you always blame women for not wanting to be with you that you'll never find anyone. You really must have to pride in yourself if you're going to judge women based off the amount of men they've been with. That's why someone like Maya had to lie to you about how many men she's been with to get to you.
Wait, you can stop that now. If you keep saying things like that about me, I'm going to cry.
Good! I want you to break down. Someone as fragile as you thinking they could ever protect an innocent woman is a joke. I hope that by having you realize how worthless and small you really are, you'll stop acting like every woman in the world is a problem. I don't want to hear any more from you about how you could protect any small and cute woman because you are the most thin and skeletal-looking freak on this planet.
Stop it! I'm already starting to cry now.
Never ever talk to me again, you freak. I don't even want to think someone as pathetic as you is living on this earth with me. Go buy yourself some crayons and draw a picture of that perfect and pure girl you want so bad and then marry it. And just like that, I never received another text or call from either Maya or Frank ever again. After that, those two never ended up handing in their marriage forms and so they both broke up. And since Maya was betting on Frank to pay for the wedding because he was a doctor, she never saved up any money. However, after he ran away, she was forced to pull out $40,000 in borrowed money and use all of that to pay for the wedding off. But in her case, there was nobody around her to help pay off that debt. Not her parents, not her family, not even her friends. They all even began to cut ties with her, and any of her friends who were kind enough to say one last thing to her would tell her that she never thought she'd be the type to steal her own friend's fiancé. After that, she started to go back to the men she'd had on her leash before going after Frank, but all of them told her they'd gotten married now. They also made sure to tell her that they were seriously in love with their wives, and then proceeded to never respond to her ever again. And when it comes to how Frank is doing now, he's been going to a lot of women in his family and asking them if they're doing everything to make sure to please their man. He even questions their ability to cook now and says if they can't, nobody will ever stay with them. But because of this, his family quickly started to stop talking to him one by one, and as of right now, not even the men want to deal with him, and now he's been disowned by his own family.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Jane, I just wanted to say thank you again so much for the lovely cake that you got us. I was wondering what this good cooler bag that got delivered was about, and it was a lovely cake. So thanks again for the gift. We can't wait to enjoy it tonight. Hold on a second. What the heck are you talking about? You know that cake isn't for you to eat, don't you? I only sent that cake as a gift to my brother for getting a new job, so that means that he's the only one who should be eating it. Sorry, you mean that you sent the cake to our house, but it's actually only for John? That's right, and it's because he got a great new job at one of the largest companies in the world. Of course I expected nothing less of him. Sorry, what exactly are you talking about? Oh, come on, surely you know this. I mean, he's going to be getting paid $150,000 a year, and that's only the entry salary. I guess we can finally say that my brother has made it to the big leagues, huh? So anyways, that's why I, as his little sister, wanted to help him celebrate his huge accomplishment. So I worked really hard at my part-time job to save up and afford to get something from a nice bakery. Jane, I really don't know how to break this to you, but John is still unemployed. Wait a second, Mary. Are you seriously telling me you don't even know that your own husband has found a job? Has he not told you, or do you just not care about what goes on in his life? Honestly, you really should at least try to be a more caring and attentive wife, you know? Excuse me? And just what in the world is that supposed to mean? And the fact that you're keeping this charade up is just so disrespectful. You do realize that the reason my brother has been looking for a job so hard this past year is because you make so little, right? Well, I'm not going to pretend like I work for some fabulously huge company or anything like that, but I am in the upper management of my company, and I don't think my salary is all that small. I don't care how high up you get in your company, it's still nothing compared to what other larger companies could offer. I bet that even after all this time working there, you're probably barely taking in $50,000. Actually, I make more than double that amount, thank you very much. In fact, I've been the one sending money back to your parents instead of John. Oh, please, you really think that I'm just going to fall for such a bold-faced lie like that? I know the truth, and you're through. I really don't know what you could possibly mean by that. I mean, I know that this whole time John has been looking for a job, that he's also been sending money back home through his personal savings. And even though he didn't have to keep sending it after he quit his job, he still kept it up the entire time. He really is such an amazing brother and a great son to our parents. I am so proud of him. Jane, you know that we've talked about this before. I'm not bragging about anything. The truth is that I was sending the money. I don't think that John has ever had any real savings to speak of. Wow, do you ever get sick of lying to people like that? How dare you even try to talk to me that way when you're so ugly? Okay, now you're just being ridiculous. Did you seriously just send that message? I just have no idea what my brother was thinking getting married to you. I just wish you two would get a divorce already. Then maybe he could move back in with all of us here at his real home. That's really what you want to happen to your brother and I? I don't really care at all what happens to you, but you better not touch that cake. I'm serious when I say it's only for my brother. If I find out that you had even a crumb, there will be consequences. Hey John, are you there? What's this news I'm hearing about you finding a new job? Is that really true? Because this is the first that I'm hearing about it.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Well, it's just that your sister sent us a cake. She said it was to celebrate you landing a new job at some huge company somewhere. Is that really true? Because that would be really amazing if it were.
Oh, did Jane really go and do that for us?
Well, I just wanted to double check with you since you haven't mentioned anything about that to me. In fact, I thought you said that you were going to the temp agency again today to look for work. So what's the truth here?
I'm not going to lie to you, Mary. It's been a year since I quit my job, and I seriously don't think I can keep looking anymore. But I was getting sick of everyone asking me about the job hunt, so I just told Jane that I found something.
I see. And that's why Jane thought she had the right to talk down to me? Because she was really laying into me for not knowing that my husband had found a new job. Not only that, but she said that the whole reason you quit your job in the first place was because I wasn't making enough money. I was just curious if you had any idea where she might have gotten some of those notions.
Well, the thing is that I haven't actually told my family why I had to leave my last job, so I just kind of gave them a story I thought they would buy.
I see. Because even when I tried to explain to your sister that I was the one sending money back to them, she just accused me of lying. You know, I really hate being called a liar when I'm telling the truth.
I know, but think about the position I'm in. If I get caught in this lie, things will get really bad for me. So please, I'm asking you, as my wife, to just hold off talking to anyone else about this, please.
I see. And when your family starts ordering me to leave you, should I just sit there and take that too?
What are you talking about? Who was saying that to you?
Well, it's what your sister said she wishes we would do. She wanted us to break up so that you could move back in with your family.
I see. You know, that's actually not such a terrible idea. Maybe I should just move back in with my parents.
Wait, what? You don't actually mean that, do you?
Well, I've actually been thinking about it for some time. I was thinking that it's been so hard to find a job that maybe we should just be apart until I do finally find something.
John, literally, what are you talking about? What does us living together have to do with you finding a job?
I just feel like I'm always under so much pressure to be finding work when I'm at home.
And do you think that that has anything to do with the fact that you haven't had a job in over a year?
That's not fair. I've been trying really hard just to find a job while you've been having a successful career. It's just really depressing for me to have to watch that happen while I get nothing.
I really don't understand you. When you quit your job, I agreed to support us both with my salary and help support your family as well. And now you're telling me that I'm the reason you can't find a job?
I'm just saying that living with you makes me feel like I have a ton of pressure on me to find something, you know? And it's like, no matter how hard I try, I know I'll never catch up to you, and it makes me feel even more pressured.
But you're telling me that if you go back and live with your parents that you'll be able to find a job?
I just think that I'd feel a lot better if there wasn't so much pressure for me to have to do so. Although, maybe we should try something new. How about you go back to live with your parents instead, and I stay here in the house?
Are you serious?
Of course I am. But you'll still have to send me money every month. I think maybe $1,500 a month should do it.
So you're now telling me that not only do I have to move out of the house, but I still have to send you money to support you?
Well, duh. You know that I don't have a job. You're the only one who makes money around here.
Well, if I go back to living with my parents, then I'm going to be supporting them instead so that I don't become a burden.
Oh, come on. Don't do that. I promise I really am going to try hard to find a job. Besides, you still need to keep sending money to my parents as well.
So you want me to keep sending them $1,000 a month and you $1,500? Do you really think I can afford that?
Oh, don't worry, I'll find a job right away, an even better one than I had before. Then we can go back to splitting all the costs.
I still don't see why I should have to go home to live. I mean, we have a guest house, why don't I just stay there?
What would even be the point of that? How could I bring chicks over if you're still around?
Excuse me, chicks? And just who are these chicks you're bringing around?
I just met some other women, I know who are looking for jobs as well. I've met some people at the temp agency who I've gotten close to, and we agreed to talk about our job hunts and share tips. You didn't think that I meant anything else than that, right?
Well, if that's all you're going to be doing with these chicks, I don't see why I can't just stay in the guest house. No, if you have no other objections, I'll move my stuff out there and agree not to tell anyone the truth about your job hunt. Hey, Mary, I thought my brother told you that he wanted you gone. Why don't you just go home? And how dare you not support my brother in his new job? Jane, what are you talking about right now? I am talking about John's new job. I knew that he asked you to leave him alone for a bit so he can concentrate on his new job, but you told him that you didn't want to because you didn't feel like it? Do you realize that working for such a huge company means that John is always under pressure? You need to give him the space he needs to work efficiently. What work is he even concentrating on? He wants me gone so that he can invite over other women. I don't see why I should go home and let that happen. Ugh, you are such a pain to deal with, do you know that? How dare you just ignore an order from your husband? I know that I was right to file your divorce papers myself. Divorce papers? What are you talking about now? Well, I saw my brother struggling, so I helped him out just a little. But now it's time for you to go back to where you came from. I've already set up everything. You two are divorced, and there's no reason for you to stay with my brother any longer. Are you really saying what I think you're saying right now? That's right. I really do outdo myself sometimes. And now that you are split up, you have no right to be living in that house with him, so just do as my brother commanded and go home. You're kidding me. You mean you just sent off our divorce papers without talking to either of us? I told you that I wish you two would just break up for a long time now. But I realized it wasn't going to happen without a little intervention. So I did what had to be done. I signed and sent off your divorce papers. I see. Well, good luck with your unemployed brother then. What are you talking about? I'm tired of you all and I don't care to explain, so I'm just going to pack up my things and go home. You should know that I did my best to encourage John to find a job, but now it's not my problem anymore. Wait, no, seriously, what are you talking about? What do you mean John is unemployed? He has a job. He's had one for a while now. He's working hard at a huge company, isn't he? No, that was just a lie he told you. Of course, you thought I was lying to you, but I was only ever being honest. What do you mean? How could he be lying to me? Well, he lied about finding a job. He hasn't had any work since he quit his last job over a year ago. But wait, that can't be right. My brother would never, ever lie to me. I know that he found a job with a huge company and that he left his old job to be able to take care of all of us. He worked himself to the bone for the past year trying to get this position. You're forgetting that I also didn't make enough money for him. Of course, that's not really why he quit. He quit because he was being sued by a young woman from his office. Not just any young woman, but the daughter of the company president, in fact. One reason John hasn't been able to find any work is because he's basically been blacklisted from the industry by his last boss. And that's how things have been for the past year. Are you kidding me? That can't be right at all. There's no way that my brother would be fired for something like that. I refuse to believe it. Well, you can believe it or not, but you might want to check with John himself about this. Because it was then that I decided I wanted to divorce him, but he begged me not to leave him until he found a job. I even have footage filmed of him begging me not to leave him for his mistake. I can send the video to you, but you aren't going to like what you see. No, that's impossible. My brother wouldn't really do that. In fact, ever since then, I've been the one supporting both your brother and your family. John ordered that I take over paying your family since he didn't have any more income or savings. So then, you were telling the truth when you said that it was you sending the money to my family? That's what I was trying to tell you, but you just accused me of lying, remember? And your good-for-nothing brother told me that my presence was putting too much pressure on him to find a job. And now you're telling me that you've gone ahead and ended our marriage for us, so with that done, I don't see any reason to stay around here.
Mary, please, don't do this. Don't leave me.
I'm afraid it's too late to undo this. Besides, your sister was the one who divorced us. But at least you should have no problem finding a new job now.
No, I can't do it. Now my parents are going to start telling me to find a job, and it's never going to happen.
What do you mean? Do your parents know the truth?
Yes, I don't know how, but they found out the truth, and they're furious with me now. They told me they thought I was looking for a job this whole time. Then they demanded that I pay you back for all the money that you had been sending them, and finally they said they never wanted to see me again.
Oh wow, that's even better than I thought. And here I was thinking that I would never get that money back. Make sure to tell your parents thanks for me.
Please, Mary, I need you now. I swear that I'll really start looking for a job, and I'll be back for everything. Just please, don't leave me. If I don't find a job, then my family is really going to stop talking to me.
And why is that my problem? You're my ex-husband, so leave me out of this.
Mary, you don't really mean that, do you?
Of course I do. I've been supporting you and your family for the past year while you've sat around doing nothing. Then you have the gall to lie to your family and tell them that I'm the reason you quit. On top of that, you let your sister get away with insulting me as a lazy liar while you let her believe you had found work. And then after all of that, you really try and tell me that I'm the reason you couldn't find any work up until now? Well, I have had it with you and your family, and once this divorce is all over and done with, I never ever want to see you again. After that, Jane began texting me desperately asking for money since I had stopped sending any to John's family. In the end, she barely managed to graduate college. She did end up finding a job, but it was at a very small company that was near the bottom of her list of places she'd like to work. I heard that even John managed to find a job, but had to bite the bullet and take over a 50% cut in pay. While living at home, his parents forced him to send part of his paycheck back to me to pay back all I had given them. When he sent me the final payment, he asked if I would think about getting back together with him. I just blocked his number and never talked to him again. After we divorced, I moved into a nice condo by myself and have been readjusting to single life. I've also finally been able to afford to send money to my own parents, who were glad to hear I got out of such a horrible marriage.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey, you're coming by the house today, right? Yeah. Are you also back home, Julia?
Yep, I'm still on college break.
Lucky you. I'd like a long summer vacation.
I'm enjoying student life for as long as I can. It doesn't last forever, you know.
You're damn right.
Tell you the truth, I didn't want to even come home. I didn't have the choice.
Why not? Did you already have plans?
Not exactly. If I did, I wouldn't be here.
Then why?
It's not really worth my time. I didn't have fun times in that house. I'd rather be hitting up the beach or something for myself. It's my last summer as a student. Why waste it by coming home? Waste of my time and energy.
I get it. There's always a time in life where your childhood home is a burden to you.
Totally. But there's no way around it. So I'm coming home this time. It's the first time we get to spend the summer together since you and my brother got married. Who knows? The family reunion might turn out not to be that bad.
Thanks. It means a lot, really.
It should. Under normal circumstances, I would have flaked out on the second.
Really?
I told ya, if I had plans, I wouldn't have come. I don't suffer fools, as they say. It's totally a rare occasion for me to even show up in person.
Oh, then I must thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Don't mention it. Especially this time, it seems like the plan's only drinking and partying. Won't be a total bummer or even. I expect something spicy would come up.
Would it be that exciting? You up to something?
Don't worry about it. You just need to be present and stay put till the afternoon. You won't be disappointed.
Okay, still not 100% sure.
Well, to briefly explain, you'll be meeting the family. You're the newest member, and I'd be assisting with my brother for the perfect introduction.
Right, that excites you?
Yep, I have something planned. Look forward to it.
I still don't get it, but see you later?
Talk to you later. Hey, Maria. Leaving so soon? At least leave my brother with his family. This party's not over yet. You said you didn't finish high school.
Oh, so you finally realized. I kind of had an inkling of what's going on.
You could have told me the truth. Saved me from the embarrassment.
Don't you have something to say before that?
What? Say what? I have a lot to say.
I can't have a sister who didn't go to college. The hell? Trying to shun me in front of the other family members. Make me kneel on my hands and knees from the shame. I knew you were up to no good. But who do you think you are?
I was just trying to give you a chance to explain yourself because I thought you didn't finish school. You made me embarrass myself. How dare you?
Oh, grow up, Julia. Or stay a brat. I don't care.
The hell?
You sound like a baby not realizing that there's a whole world out there.
I do not. I was doing you, a low-life nobody, a favor to be a part of our elite family.
That's what I'm talking about. Childish. How do you even get these ideas? Is it something you picked up from your friends at school?
Like you can talk, so where did you go to?
As in?
The college you graduated. Might as well tell me since you say you'd finished high school. Everyone scolded me for being ignorant. What college did you go to?
I didn't go to any colleges. Just finished high school.
Huh? That's it? No college?
Yes.
That's so boring.
You got a problem?
Better than you flunked out, but...
I don't know where you got the idea that I flunked high school.
You said you never went to one.
I couldn't actually go to a high school because I was hospitalized in 8th grade.
I told this story before. Doesn't ring a bell. How did you graduate if you didn't go to one?
You do know homeschooling exists.
Huh?
I told you this too. I also worked a full-time job after I graduated.
But still, homeschooling. Still boring. Why would my brother choose someone like that? I mean, he finished college. He could have done better.
That is not my concern, and irrelevant. I thought you texted me to apologize.
Apologize? I never said about apologizing. Just wanted to clear things up.
Seriously?
Come on, homeschool? Because everyone was mad at me. I know for sure you went to college. So much for getting my hopes up. It's more boring than you not finishing high school.
Okay, let's get this straight. From my eyes, you are the boring one.
Huh?
You're a college student graduating this year.
Your point?
You could have learned to be a better person. Instead, you look down upon others, judging people by which school they went to, not capable of apologizing for your rudeness. I'm baffled. That's what they teach at college, huh? Really? How highly of you.
Are you making fun of me? You, who didn't even go to college? Oh, hell no.
By the way, I'm not making fun of college students. I'm making fun of a certain person who still acts like a child, even though she's in college. You, who can't apologize for your behavior.
Damn you! I'm so not getting talked back by you. You're just a failure.
What an ungrateful little being. You have your parents supporting you to even go to college. I do wonder what kind of freaked up future waits upon you.
The hell?
Your mother called. She apologized. Said the exact same words to me.
Shut up. Fine, you didn't flunk high school. I get it. But you're still a good-for-nothing. Don't text me again. Better yet, stay the hell away from my brother.
My. When are you going to realize your mistakes?
You're making fun of me again. I'm done. You were never my sister and never will be. From today, you are nobody. You hear me? Hey, you were at the town square just now, right?
Julia, you were there?
Don't answer my question with a question. You were just there, right? Answer me.
Oh, sorry. You surprised me. Yes, I was there. Just the work thing.
I knew it! You were talking to an agent. What work do you do?
Were you following me around?
What do you care? Answer the question. What work do you do?
I work as a hand model.
Model? A model?
It's not that big of a deal. I talked to you about this before I got married.
Nope, you never did. If I remembered, I would have been friends with you.
Why?
Because I want to be a model.
What?
What do you mean, what? I was scouted by an agency during college and was supposed to become famous and debut as an actress.
You're aiming high, but I'm just a hand model. It's not like I have huge connections. I couldn't help you.
I don't care about that. How long have you been doing this?
Don't you know how to have a conversation?
Yes, I do. I'm asking you right now. How long?
Around 20, I guess. I got noticed.
Huh? You got scouted? Oh, I'm so pissed. How come you get to do my dream job? I have more potential than you.
I don't know about that. So, where are you now?
Why are you asking?
Your mother and father are worried sick about you. You quit your first job after 3 months and haven't called ever since.
Why do you care? I couldn't work with a bunch of losers. That's it.
Uh-huh. Right. Glad you seem fine. Give your parents a call, okay?
Shut up. I'll get you. No matter what it takes. Just wait.
Get me? What?
I'll be a freaking model. You wait and see. I'll become famous.
What? Wait, what?
The agency I got into is shady as hell, and it's all your fault. And to think I was making my debut as an actress of the night. I almost got into so much trouble. Are you really a model? Perhaps you do more lucrative jobs.
Why is this my fault? Where did you get discovered?
Where you did. I was walking around downtown, as you said, and they came up to me.
Right. Glad you got away. There are a lot of creepy people out there. Are you still in downtown?
Of course I am. So what if I am?
Hey, I got a text from your sister.
Really? I'm calling Dad right now.
Thanks.
I'm going there as soon as I can too. You know where she is?
Yeah, she said she's downtown. Probably near the Rotary.
What's she doing there? Waiting to get scouted?
I guess so. So she still wants to become a model.
What? She's still going on about that BS?
Seems like it. She hasn't given up.
What the hell? Is she mental or something?
Maybe?
We need to get her a job ASAP. Stop her from using up Dad's credit card.
Yeah, she could have just apologized and come home.
She's been this way since she was a child, so... But still, that's not an excuse.
All right.
Anyways, I'm getting in the car. She's still gotta be there, right?
Probably.
I'll be there in an hour.
Be careful, Sean.
You told on me. You told my family where I was. I'm never going back home. I'm going to be a model.
It's good to have dreams, but chasing them like a lunatic isn't going to get you anywhere.
Where am I supposed to go then?
Get a job. Stop using your parents' money. Pay your own rent for once.
You know I can't help with the money. I need it to make my dreams come true. It's the family's job to support me.
Did you ask them first?
I did, but they denied me.
Yet you still went on using their credit card, so you ended up in this predicament. Isn't that right? Just go back home, Julia.
Shut up! It's all your fault in the first place. Gloating about how you were working as a model.
When have I ever gloated? I just told you because you asked.
You did it to gloat. You made fun of me.
I made fun of how you act stupid. But that's because you started it. The world doesn't revolve around you.
Damn you! I'll never forgive you. You'll regret this night.
Don't get any stupid ideas. Just go home and apologize to your parents, okay? Before it's too late. Oh my. Why are you lying at the bottom of the stairs? That doesn't seem too comfortable. Or are you drunk in the middle of the day? Not so tough now, are you? There's police at the house. Did you call them? I have nothing to do with this. What are you talking about? What? Oh, you're okay. I was worried because you didn't text back earlier. Because I fell down the stairs? Yeah. You were there then. You could have gotten help. Sorry. I was preoccupied. You seem fine. Fine? You came up from behind and pushed me down. What? You were pushed? I didn't know that. That's why the police are there. I filed a report on attempted murder. We found out soon enough that it was you. Huh? Me? No way. Where are you right now? Answer me. I can't be wherever I want. I'm innocent. You were the perpetrator in this situation. No, I was not. We'll get you either way. I'm not retracting my report, even if it was a family member. Oh, what? How could you do that? You said you were innocent. Then you've got nothing to worry. Yeah, sure. But... Oh, and my hand's injured, so I can't work for a while. I'm also demanding a liability claim. Uh-huh? I mean, I can't do my job with my hands this way. It's fully my right. I need my hands to be kept in a perfect condition. But breaking a bone? Now, that's a big deal. Right. It doesn't matter telling you if you're not the culprit. Sorry about that. Don't mind about it. If the person surrendered, I might take down the claim. Depends on how sorry they are. I'm so sorry. I did it. Please take down the claim. I said I might consider it. I didn't say I would. Uh-huh. You've gone too far this time. This is a criminal offense. I've turned my eye for a while, but this? I can't work because of what you did. Pushing someone off the stairs because you were jealous. What if I died? What were you going to do then? I'm not letting go of this. What? Why? I apologized. I fessed up. What more do you want? It's that kind of behavior that I'm not letting this go. I'll see you around. What do you mean? You're done for. Your parents and Sean are severing ties from you. You won't be allowed in their house. Basically, you're disowned. I'm what? I was really rooting for you chasing your dreams. If you would mature, I would have pulled my strings for you. Wait, are you talking about me modeling? Uh-huh. I would. Yes, I would do it. Can't you read? I'll grow up. I'll do as you say. Even if you look slightly better than others, they can't have you causing problems with a colleague. What? Of course, I've told about the incident to my agency and about you. They can't have someone with anger issues, duh. They're giving warning notices to other agencies just in case. That's all I have to say. She crushed her dreams with her own hands. If only Julia hadn't done what she did, there might have been a possibility. Too bad. I didn't retract my report and will be facing her at court. Julia is to be working at her dad's factory after she gets out of this, and I'll be getting the charges from her salary. I got back to hand modeling after 3 months. We're still battling in court. I just hope that she will learn from her mistakes.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Hey Blake, we really need to talk. I've reached my limit with all of this. I was wondering if you could do something about Bailey?
Huh? What do you mean by that? What about Bailey?
Don't you know? We've talked about this a few times before. Bailey just keeps on making herself at home, and she's been doing this without telling us first. This has been happening day after day. She keeps coming over without telling us and stays for the entire day. Also, she keeps complaining about how I clean up our own house. It's rather frustrating. I feel like I've got no time to relax as she's always here.
How could you say something so cold about my mother? My mother's always there for you.
But what does that even mean for me?
I asked my mom to go around the house. I told her that you're really bad at doing the housework and to help educate my wife. That's why she comes over every day. You're the worst wife for treating this as a problem when it's not.
Why would you even say that I'm bad at housework? I'm trying to do my best every day in my own way. I'm confident that I'm doing housework diligently than other people in their homes. How could you say that to me?
Oh, really? Do you think you're doing the work to that extent? You think you're so funny, Belinda?
Yes, because I make 3 meals a day for the 365 days of the year. Don't you realize that? I've made it all from scratch, and I've never relied on prepared foods or frozen meals. At your request, the snacks that I make for you at 3 o'clock on the holidays are also homemade.
That's just a part of what you've got to do for me as a housewife. My mother used to do that kind of thing for me as well when I was a child.
She did every single thing for you, including all the laundry and cleaning? Don't you realize I do my best every day to make sure I'm not leaving a single speck of dust on the floor or left on any piece of furniture? I separate the washing by color and wash all your underwear completely by hand. I'm the only person in the house who does this every day.
So you're saying that you're trying to do your best at the level you're sitting on? That's pathetic. You forgot to take out the trash the other day. You also failed to iron my shirt yesterday, didn't you?
I didn't do that because I didn't get enough sleep. I ended up just dozing off because I had a fever. If I'm having to wake up at 4 in the morning and only go to bed at 2 in the morning, there's no way I'll be able to get rid of my fatigue.
My mother lived like that as well, and she had no problems doing all the housework. The house was always completely spotless. You say that you're doing your best, but it's meaningless if you're not producing good results. Even a housewife can understand that much, right? You were also a functional member of society up until a few years ago, weren't you? You should understand hard work, right?
I suppose I do. I know I do a lot of hard work. I give 100% of my housework, and I understand that you don't like how I do it, Blake. Well, then please at least tell Bailey to not take my personal belongings when she's in my house.
What are you talking about? What personal belongings has she even taken?
Actually, over the past few months, more and more of my personal belongings have been disappearing from our house. I only recently found out who the culprit was. Every time Bailey comes over to our house, she's taking something without asking my permission first. It's like she thinks it's her God-given right to take my things.
Now just stop. Why would you say that my mother's taking your things? How dare you say something like that to our own son? Those are strong accusations, Belinda.
When I questioned her about it, she said exactly the same thing you just did. How dare you accuse your mother-in-law of stealing? She said she was borrowing my things for a little while and that whatever belongs to my son's wife belongs to her, so it doesn't matter. It obviously matters, Blake. It's my stuff she's taking. She's never returned what she's borrowed. It's just stealing.
Well, to solve it, we can just pretend that we gave her the things as a gift, so don't worry about it. My mother comes to watch and instruct you on how to do your housework every day. You should be grateful. Considering all this, her fees are really cheap, so you should be following her orders.
What the heck are you talking about? She's charging me fees for this? Even though she's bossy and stealing from me? I didn't ask for any of this to happen. I know how to do housework.
Stop making fun of what she's doing and accusing her of theft. You're such a narrow-minded wife. You're so annoying.
Okay, so are you going to replace the books that have been taken from me? Bailey's taken so much that I hardly have any cosmetics anymore. Haven't you noticed those things are gone? I'm almost out of clothing and bags. It's going to cost a few $1,000s to buy everything that she took again.
Are you kidding me? A few $1,000s? I'm not buying any of that crap for you. You can get that yourself with your own money. Don't even think about trying to splurge on clothes and bags with your husband's money.
Are you kidding me? I've got hardly anything left after what Bailey took.
You've got savings from when you used to work like us normal people. Use that so you can buy it again yourself.
But I'm just a housewife right now. I don't have any money to spend on things. Why won't you help me? You're my husband. And yet, you tell me to use up the precious savings I've got? What am I supposed to do if my savings account has nothing left for the future?
Don't you know how to answer your own questions? I guess you have to go back to work if that's the case. If you got time to talk about nonsense like this, then you got time to perfect your housework skills. Stop being so useless and get back to work.
Hey, Belinda, we need to discuss something right now. How dare you talk badly about me to my own son? He's not the one who's treating me like a thief, thinking that I've stolen your belongings. How dare you? Oh, is that so? Is that what he told you I was saying? Stop playing games with me. Don't you dare call me a thief again. You're such a disappointment. Blake told me earlier what you said. He told me to take anything as an instructional fee on teaching you how to clean. He said to take how much I want. What the heck is that supposed to mean? Do you think you've got any right in taking my stuff? Yes, and my son has finally recognized that. From now on, I can come in and out and take whatever I like as payment. You know I was worried about how there was only good food in your fridge. Would you please stop doing this? I've completely reached my limit with you. This is too far. What's that supposed to mean? I'm your mother-in-law and I can treat you however I like. I feel like there's a hole in my stomach from all the stress you've put me under. Since I've become a housewife, Blake has become more strict with the housework. Now he doesn't even treat me as his wife, but just as some housekeeper. No matter how many times I ask you, you still come over like you own the place. You need to ask me to come over. I am so sick of living like this. This is how a housewife should be treated. I'm not saying anything else about it. Everyone used to be like this. I've been told that I'm allowed to do whatever I want as your mother-in-law. Why would you repeat something like this to others when you wouldn't want it done to you? Oh, shut up, Belinda. You're such a terrible wife to my son. Well, most of the time. Who do you think you owe to be able to live in the house that you do? The land that the house is on is that land that I gave to both of you. Yes, you've told me this before, Bailey, but... So what's wrong with going on to your land whenever I like? The land is no longer in your name, Bailey. Even if it's in my son's name, what's mine is mine. That's why I'll continue to go over to your house whenever I feel like it. I don't see what's so wrong about taking what's on the land that my son owns. You can't just do that to me. That's stealing, as those things don't belong to you. Thanks to the money that my son earns, we can live in such a spacious house. I'm too selfish to stop doing what I'm doing, so I don't plan on stopping at all. Also, you're not good at housework compared to me, and you're not very friendly at all. I wonder why my son married such a useless wife. I wish he'd get rid of you sooner rather than later. I'm so sick of you hanging around my son. I guess I see what your true nature is, Bailey. I also just want to leave Blake for how he's treating me and how he lets you treat me like crap. Are you kidding me with this nonsense? How dare you say something like that about my son in front of his own mother? I'll remind my son of the things you've just said to me. He'll make you pay for that. I've had it up to here with both in terms of how you've treated me since I stopped working. I want to be free from you. I feel so trapped when you're both giving me crap. I'm really at my limit now, and if this continues, I am really going to consider divorcing you.
Oh, is that so? If you're going to keep saying that over and over again, then why don't you do that? You're supposed to be my wife and not threaten me. If you keep being like this towards me and my mother, then you leave me no choice but to divorce you.
Are you kidding me? Me threaten you? You're the one doing it to me. You'd really divorce me on something I don't even do to you?
You think you're so cocky. I can't even understand you anymore. We all know you can't live without me, but you keep saying silly things like this. Even if we were to get a divorce, even someone as stupid as you will understand how important it is to have a husband. I'm at the courthouse right now since it's such a short walk from my office. I'll file the divorce papers as you wish and bring them over for you to sign.
What? You're actually going to do that? Even though I've done everything that you've ordered me to do?
It's too late to cry and moan about it now, Belinda. I'll immediately file for divorce. Get out of my house, you useless, good-for-nothing wife.
Okay, but you do realize that this is my house, right? Oh, wait, but You're really filing for the divorce papers right now?
Yes, that's what I just said. I'm filing for the divorce papers right now. I'm staring at them intently. I scribbled your signature in the text box. The people at the courthouse quickly accepted my request without saying anything.
You know that it's not a good thing to use someone else's signature on a form like that. Well, I guess for me it's a relief to get the divorce out of the way, so I'll take it as no questions asked. Thank you for divorcing me. That means you need to get out of my house right away, okay?
Hey, what did you just say to me? That house that I used to make you clean up every day, my mother gave me the land and I built the house on it. Therefore, that house on that land is mine, not yours. You need to pack your things and get out as soon as I come home.
Now just hold on a minute there, pal. Aren't you forgetting some really important details, Blake? It's true that you built that house, but then you put all the details in my name. The house, the land it sits on, all have been transferred from your name to mine.
Are you kidding me with this crap right now, Belinda?
You're the one who said that to me right after it was finished being built, didn't you? You're the one who said that a wife should stay at home, so I just obeyed your orders, Blake. You said please quit your job and move into the house. At the time, you were still treating me well and were much more of an adult about things. You said when I become a housewife, everything will be in your name. That's what your promise was to me, right?
Oh, okay. I somewhat remember what I said to you. At the time, I did write that the house and land are in your name.
Yes, and did you realize that giving up your job to start a family is a huge risk as well? So I was super anxious if we got a divorce or if something happened to you, so you made that promise to me. You said that you'll change the names to mine on the document so that I'm in safe hands no matter what happens. That's when you started to beg me to become a housewife.
I really can't believe this. What am I supposed to do now? I've already filed the divorce papers.
Well, tough. You've got no rights to this house anymore, Blake. You shouldn't have treated me like you did, and none of this would have happened. As the owner of this property, I refuse you to take anything more from me.
But you can't just do that to me. I've done so much for you.
You're the one who needs to pack their bags and move out of the house. I'll give you a little bit of time to do that. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Good luck and take care of yourself. You evil woman! How dare you take the land I own? You need to give that land and the rights to the house back to my son. I've got no intention of giving anything to you. You deserve nothing. Your son was the one who gave me the land and the house in the first place, Bailey. I'm telling you now, he put everything in my name. I don't intend on giving any of the land or house back to Blake. Don't say such stupid things to me. Cut it out. Where's my son supposed to live now, then? Well, he could also go and live with you, Bailey, since he always used to take your side over mine. It's probably a good idea for him to go back to his parents' house if he wants everything done for him. That's definitely not an option. It would be impossible, okay? I literally just sold the house. There's no family home anymore. Where's he supposed to go back to if I've sold the house? Wait, what? You sold your house? Why would you do that? Because I intended on moving into your house once my son divorced you. My house has been standing for several decades and it's already so old. So I thought I'll sell my house and then move in with my son as his house is brand new. Are you kidding me? You think I'd let you move in after you stole from me and bossed me around? You were planning to move back into this house behind my back? I heard nothing of this plan. There was no way I was going to tell my son's useless wife about this plan. Blake was never going to refuse me from living with him, so he stayed quiet about it. And now the sale process has finally been completed. I was planning on moving in at the beginning of the week. At the beginning of the week? Why then? Because you'd both be divorced by then and he would have kicked you to the curb like you deserved. But now there's no way we can do that. I can't believe my son would be so stupid to give the house and the land to you. Hey, I'd watch what you say to me, Bailey. You're on thin ice. If the divorce had been slowed down, this would have been an even more painful experience for me. But what a stroke of luck that I got everything. So you're just going to keep everything for yourself? What's my son supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I can't just turn around and tell my real estate agent that I'm not going to sell my house after all. How did this even happen when everything was going according to plan? Everything went wrong and it's all because of you. Go off and complain to your son about it. I don't want to hear it. He's the one who divorced me using a lot of his own stupid force. If you'll excuse me, I've got things to organize. I've got to go and put Blake's luggage in the front yard.
Belinda, I can't believe what I've done to you. I'm so sorry.
Huh? Why are you even apologizing to me now, Blake?
I've just realized how horrible I've been, and it's because of my mom's influence on me. She was so horrible to you, and she was trying to push me to make you do everything so that she'd be able to get what she wanted out of us. Look, I didn't want to say anything, but I got fired from my job.
You what? What the heck happened? Why are you telling me this?
You were in charge of all the saving. Can you please give me a bit so I can pay for some living expenses? I really need it.
Are you kidding me? After the way you and your mother treated me? I'm not going to help you out, not this time or any other time.
But you can't just abandon me like this. I need financial help. And please, Belinda, I'm begging you. Don't leave me without any money to live.
You are such a horrible person for the way you've treated me as your house slave. Your mother had no right to say or do the things she did to me. If you want to earn some money so that you can save it for a rainy day or to pay for whatever you need to pay for, you need to look for a job. You know, a thing that normal people do. I'm done with all of this. Goodbye and good luck with your life. After what happened with Blake and his mother Bailey, I heard that they moved into a run-down apartment together. During his unemployment period, he was under a lot of stress. Apparently, he was secretly addicted to buying big purchase items and gambling. Because of that, he had nothing saved up in his bank account. Also, I discovered that Bailey didn't have enough funds in her retirement account. All the housework being done at her old house was outsourced for a long time by a cleaning company. She couldn't even cook a proper meal. If this continues, Blake was told that he'd have to remarry and find a wife who can earn money and do the housework. It seems like the two of them have been working hard together, but no one will agree to go on a date with him as he lives with his mother and he's unemployed and divorced. I want to show that's obvious to his face.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
I think I'll head over to get you tomorrow at around 10 a.m. or so. Does that work for you?
I'm so anxious about everything right now that I'll be awake bright and early tomorrow, so you bet that time will work for me.
Well, that's not an answer that makes me think that things are okay there.
Well, I'm finally going to get to meet your mom after you asked for my hand in marriage. And asking me not to get nervous about meeting her now is like asking a fish not to swim.
I'm sorry about that. I really wanted to come and meet your parents first to talk about all of this.
And I'm sorry that my parents are always so busy and never seem to have the time to come around us. I'm worried right now whether this gift that I've got to bring to your mom is even enough or not. Do you think I should bring some other stuff as well?
I said you'll be alright. You bought some stuff for my mom that she likes, and getting a ton of things for her would be too much since she lives by herself now. She wouldn't even be able to eat all of those chocolates, right?
I get that, but...
I think you'll be just fine, Mindy. Now, there's something I'd like to ask you. And if you don't want to do it, you can just say no to me, okay?
You have something else to ask of me? What do you need?
Well, actually, before you come over to see my mom again, well, my mom is asking to talk with you over the phone.
What do you mean?
Well, she told me to give her your number, and so, well, you're gonna be seeing her again tomorrow, so if she really wants to talk with you, there's always tomorrow. But it seems she really does have something she wants to ask you over text or something.
I wonder what she wants to ask me. Well, I guess I don't really care if she has my number or not.
I didn't get to hear everything from her, but I think she wants to talk with you about having you make lunch for us tomorrow, so that might be what this is all about. She might be asking you if you have any preferences on what to cook and things like that.
I guess I'd be the same if I had something to ask about before meeting up. But I'm sure she already knows about the kinds of foods I like and what I can cook, right?
Well, I guess you'll just have to wait and see what this is all about. You okay with talking to her then?
I think I'll be fine. I'm sure she'll need my number anyway, since we'll probably start to talk even more now that she knows that I'm your fiancé. And of course, after we marry, she'll want to stay updated about us.
Well, she does have a lot of time on her hands ever since my dad passed away and left her all this money, as well as some of the money I give her every month, so I just want to tell you right now that if she finds out you do have a lot of time to be on your phone, she'll start texting and calling about everything. You sure you're gonna be alright with that?
Stop trying to make it seem as though she'd never stop talking to me. I'm sure I'd rather be able to talk to her when I need to, rather than never be able to talk to her at all. And I doubt she's going to be as crazy as you think.
Fair enough. And you love to communicate with others, so I guess there was no stopping you from wanting to talk to my mom.
Well, that's just my thing, making sure that I have all my bases set through asking and confirming.
Well, I'll go let her know your number and then the two of you can start chatting. If there are ever times you're too busy to respond to her or she just starts to get a bit annoying, just let me know. I'll handle it. I just want you to know that you don't have to be on the phone with her all the time, okay?
Thank you.
Oh, and one other thing. If she does say anything you don't like, please be sure to let me know about it right away.
Does something I don't like?
I think things will be alright between you two, but, well, that's at least what I want to think. Actually, when it comes to my mom, she really loves judging people based off their education.
Based off their education?
Well, even though he's not around anymore, my dad graduated from Harvard. And as for my mom, she's from an all-female school in the UK where she graduated from while her parents were living over there. So she's always going on about what kinds of degrees people have and about where they've gone to school. I was actually very lucky to have her as a parent because, well, she made sure I was able to go to a really good high school. And then after that, to an amazing university and everything, without even having to test into them.
Is that so?
Really, I did want to go to the same school as my friends, but, well, she ended up having a path already laid out for me, so there was not much else I could do about it.
Well then, am I going to be okay?
Well, I told her that you are a lot like my dad, so I think she won't hold too much against you. Well, that's what I want to believe, but I think she'll refrain from saying anything to you over that pretext. I'm sorry if what I've talked about has caused you any worries.
No worries, I'll be alright. After all, she's your mom and she birthed and raised you, right? So I doubt she'd be the kind of person to only judge me based on my education and would be much more open-minded towards me just like you've been.
Thank you so much for saying something like that.
And if she does mention anything about my past, well, I'll just explain everything around it to her.
I'm glad you have confidence, Mindy. Now, I'm going to give my mom your number, okay?
Thank you. It's so nice to meet you, Mindy. This is Richie's mom, and you can call me Lorraine. I understand that the both of us will be meeting again for what seems like the first time in such a long time, so I'm sorry for texting you the night before. I am assuming that this is your number, Mindy? Nice to talk to you again, Lorraine. And thank you for allowing me the chance to finally come and meet you for lunch tomorrow after all this time. And thank you for taking your time to contact me the day before. Well, there are some things I'd like to ask you before having you come out to meet me. So I made sure to ask my son over and over again to give me your number. I'm not catching you at a bad time, right? Not at all. I'm happy to be able to talk with you right now. And so, what's this that you'd like to ask me about? Tomorrow, we'll all be getting together to have lunch and talk, correct? I've been thinking of ordering sushi for lunch. There's a very famous sushi restaurant just down the road that I can ask to bring us some great food. But I wanted to ask and make sure you're okay with raw fish. Thank you so much. I love eating sushi. Well, that's wonderful to hear. But I have to ask, weren't you planning on having me cook lunch for all of us tomorrow? Well, I just decided on having sushi instead for lunch so that I didn't stress you out with this visit all too much. And this was only one of my questions for you. Only one of them? What I really have been wanting to ask you, we'll talk about right now. You are aware that both my husband and my son are Harvard alumni, right? That's right, and I'm well aware of that. My husband is no longer with us anymore, but he graduated from one of the best universities in the U.S.,
And right after he graduated from there, he began to create a large group of companies that he managed, and then later brought me into his life to become his housewife. So you are well aware that when it comes to someone, the one and only thing you can judge everything about them based off of is their education, right?
I suppose you can judge someone pretty well based off their education.
My son is in the same boat now, graduating from Harvard and landing himself a job that pays him very, very well. He even makes enough to send me an allowance every month. Of course, I'm able to live very easily with the money my husband left for me after passing away, but Richie has been thinking a lot about my future and said that I shouldn't try to use up all that money so quickly.
I've heard from Richie that he's sending you money every month. He really is such an amazing son.
He sure is. I was really worried about what would happen with everything after my husband passed, but now that Richie is sending me money, I should even be able to live off of just that amount for the rest of my life. You can tell just by how wonderful my son is that me birthing and raising him was without any flaws.
Without any flaws? You're talking about Richie, right?
I tried a whole lot of things with that boy ever since he was a little guy, and after making him go to a private high school and then off to Harvard, I can say that he is my little masterpiece.
I heard from him that you made sure he went to all the schools you wanted him at.
My husband is from Harvard after all, right? And I might not have come from Harvard, but my school is international, so I can still brag about it, right?
You both have graduated from very amazing schools, correct?
That's right! In England, everyone would call the college I went to the College of Princesses. So not only is it well known over there, but it's viewed as a school with quite an image of luxury and fine education. But it's not just my husband and I that graduated from college, but all our parents as well. So I really do have a bias towards schooling, even after high school. But we can just say that's all in my genes, and it'll be in my son's genes as well.
In his genes as well?
So this is why I want my son to date a woman with a history in education, and I want him to marry a woman that is from some higher education, and I want him to have kids with her that are all as smart as him and his wife are.
I see.
And so that's why, starting now, I have some very important things to ask you. Can you please tell me what university you graduated from?
I understand that this might come as a heartbreaking surprise to you, but I never graduated from any university.
What? What does that mean? Are you trying to tell me that you never graduated from anywhere like Harvard or a school like mine?
I'm sorry, but I've never been to any sort of high-level university like the ones you've mentioned.
But you've at least gone to and graduated from a school overseas, right?
No, actually, the last level of education I graduated from was middle school.
Middle school? You have to be kidding me right now. Why would a person like that be going out with my son right now? No frickin' way. This all has to be some kind of twisted joke, right? I know for a fact that recently young women like you just love to be sarcastic and make jokes such as this one.
No, this is not a joke.
You and my son met within his company, and that's where you both started dating, right? That's what both Richie and you have told me in the past.
And as we've said, we did meet inside the company.
But you'd have to have a pretty decent education to be working in the same company as my son, right? So tell me how a middle school graduate could have ended up there.
And I'd love to explain all of that in detail to you right now.
Don't tell me you have ties within that company and were brought in through the back door.
The back door?
Well, there are things like that, right? Companies need to start hiring more women, and so they do it only for their image, right? Either that, or you have some kind of friend running the place and they brought you in without you ever having to take an interview. I bet that friend of yours knew about Richie and you've been wanting to marry him. So your friend allowed you to start working within the company only so that you could get him and then leave as soon as you're both married, right? I cannot believe what I'm hearing. My son, who I've put so much blood and sweat into, is being carried off by some idiot of a wretched woman.
Hold on for one moment, Lorraine. Allow me to explain everything to you.
Stop talking to me right now. I don't even want your phone number anymore. I want you to forget about ever having the chance to marry my son, okay? I did not raise my son to marry someone who's never graduated from college and thinks that it's fine to work at a high-level company only to get to my son.
Could you please stop saying that about me? I understand that I only ever graduated from middle school, but there is a very important reason for all of that.
No matter what kind of excuse you give me for that, it doesn't change that you have no education. You are a middle school graduate, and that's all. My son was so good with his studies back in the day, but I guess he was a weak spot for women like you. The girl he was dating before you was the same deal, telling me she had no plans of going to college, and so I told her to get lost and that she'd never have a chance to marry my son.
Huh? Never get a chance to?
My husband and I both come from elite backgrounds, and we made sure to make lots of powerful friends to help us raise our boy into a man that would be able to do anything. So when we finally said to him that he could start dating, we told him all the women he brings home only get one chance to impress us.
Well, can you let me explain what's going on here so that you'll be impressed with me?
No, I will not. I don't want to talk with a middle school graduate like you any longer. You'll only start to make me more stupid, so I have to leave before that happens. And know that your marriage to my son is no more, please.
Just give me a chance. Think about your son's happiness and let me explain what's going on here.
I told you that you weren't going to get married to my son, right? I haven't even bothered getting that sushi I said I'd order for lunch, so get lost. I can't believe that a middle school graduate is even in our house right now. If my husband knew about this, he'd be appalled.
I came here to have a word with you.
Well, I don't want any of your words.
But if you do this to me, you're not only going to be tossing me out, but your own son as well.
Well, maybe next time you shouldn't be coming into my house like this after I've told you to stop trying to marry my son.
Richie is upset with you as well right now, though.
He's only a child still, so he has no idea about the intentions I have. I'm sure as he continues to grow up, he'll understand everything here.
Not only was he surprised about how you wouldn't listen to me, but the fact that you didn't listen to him either before throwing that bucket of water all over me. He's furious now.
Well, you deserve to be drenched in cold water like that since you never took the time to take life seriously by getting a proper education.
Are you really going to try and end all of this without ever listening to either one of us?
There is nothing I want more than to have you shut up and leave my sons and my life at once. Do you really think my ears have the patience to listen to you? I am not interested in you anymore. You are nothing more than trash in this society, and such trash is not welcomed here.
You're going to regret all of this then.
The only one that's going to regret anything is the one that's missed her chance to marry my bright and wealthy son. You'd never be able to last long anyway with a Harvard alumni like my son. Now stop with all this nonsense and leave my son right now.
You'd want me to leave him even though he's my employee?
Huh? What are you talking about? Your employee? There's no way in hell he's your employee, right? If anything, you should be his employee, and even then I wouldn't believe it.
When I say that he's my employee, I mean that as in he's one of the workers I've hired to work for me. And so far he's done everything to make sure that the work I give him is done correctly and on time. And, well, since he's so good at working for me, it's almost like he's working with me, so maybe I should call him my partner more than anything else.
You've employed him? What? What do you mean?
Are you finally going to listen to what I have to say now?
Explain all this crap to me right now. Why the hell is my son your employee and not the other way around?
Well, it's just as I've said. The company that Richie is currently employed at is the company that I'm the CEO of.
CEO? Stop playing around with me. No way in hell is a middle school graduate smart enough to own their own company.
I actually started working a job of my own in elementary school. And recently, it's not that strange to see younger and younger kids making money through things like YouTube and other services, right?
You had a job when you were in elementary school?
I do think that studying is a very important part of all our lives, but when thinking about things like high school and later college, I figured that growing my own business would be far more beneficial. So after starting my own company in middle school, I focused more on expanding it than working on homework and such. And when I was finally out of middle school, I chose to test out of high school and then worked full-time making sure my company took off.
Excuse me?
In my case, my family had been running a business of their own already, so being around them helped me better understand the business world.
Are you telling me that my son is currently working for a company whose CEO has been working since elementary school?
Actually, that company is long gone now. I sold it to someone else when I was only 11 years old.
You sold it?
Correct. I sold it when I was 11 to someone who said they could get better use from it. I was even able to sell it for a decent amount of money. So I used the money from that company to start a newer and better company for myself in middle school.
Hold on for just 1 second, Mindy. What the hell is this? Something about all of this makes it seem as though you are actually capable of running your own company.
Well, when you say it like that, I suppose I am saying all of this like I'm capable. And that's because I am, and I have all the proof to show for it. And not just within my current company, but from all the success I've had from it. As of right now, I own a penthouse in one of the taller towers downtown, and it's got 3 bedrooms in it.
A penthouse with 3 bedrooms? Tell me how much money you're making with that job.
I'm sorry, but I can't tell you all of that since you don't want to talk much with a middle school graduate like me. Just know that I'm able to employ a lot of workers within my company, and in return I gain a lot of money from the work they give me. I'm sorry that you happen to care so much about everyone's education and judge them based off of only that one part of their life. Since I only ever made it to middle school, it must hurt you so much to see me making off better than your own pride and joy, right? Well, it's too bad I can't explain anything more about this since you wouldn't want to listen anyway.
No, wait a second. The only reason I was judging you so much based off being a middle school graduate is because I thought you were after my son's money. What should I say about this? I didn't know you had a company of your own, and that's why I said so many things like that.
Well, you made it pretty clear to me that you didn't want to listen to what I had to say about my company.
Well, that's just because I had the wrong idea of you, just the wrong idea.
I was so looking forward to getting to know my fiancé's mother even more, to the point that I was jumping out of my chair when we first started to text the other day. I assumed that since you were the one to raise such a loving and amazing boy, you'd be just as loving as him. Well, I suppose I just had my hopes up a little too much. You didn't even want to give me the chance to talk to you in person about myself, and I've lost the excitement I had the other day. So I believe the 2 of us will be going now. Such a shame, since I was looking forward to this day.
Hold on for 1 minute. I'll go out and get that sushi for all of us. Do you both think you can stay for a little while longer so we can relax and talk? How does that sound? We should both take some time to sit and talk about ourselves a bit more, since we both seem to have the wrong idea of one another.
Richie's telling me that he wants to go, so I'm going to follow him out, okay? Good day to you, Lorraine.
Hold on. Mindy! When I saw your full name, I was thinking that you might be pretty famous. And, well, after looking into it more, you really are quite an amazing person, right? And when talking about yourself, you really are a beautiful young woman. So your education and such doesn't mean anything to me now, after looking at the wonderful woman you are, both on the inside and outside. And when it comes to men, of course they care more about looks than about your actual education, right?
I don't think you have to talk to me anymore, Lorraine. We are both well aware now that your son told you he was cutting ties to you, right?
No, wait a moment. I just wanted to talk to you today about how amazing of a person you really are.
I'm sorry, but I can see that you're just trying to get to Richie through me. But you won't be able to, because not even I want to talk to you anymore.
Please don't say such heartless things to me. We are going to become in-laws really soon, right? You're going to become my daughter-in-law really soon, so you shouldn't have to say things like that about me, right? So let's both work together to fix things within our family so that we can all go back to being happy and loving with one another. Let's begin fixing things right now.
I'm not going to become your daughter-in-law, though.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
That's all exactly what it means. I'm not going to become your daughter-in-law or anything like that because he'll be marrying into my family and getting our last name. And not only that, but he already told you he's cutting ties to you, right?
Wait a sec. He's getting your last name? That's a lie, right? Tell me that's some kind of bad joke.
Richie told me he doesn't want to share the same name with a family that only cares about people's education and nothing else. And once again, he doesn't want you in his life anymore either. So don't expect him to stick around with you anymore since he's going to be a part of my family now. I'm sure that you can see now that once he has my last name, his connection to you is pretty much gone, right?
This has to all be a lie, right? He's my only child, Mindy. If he changes his last name to be your family's, then my family will be.
This is what he wants to do. He's told me that he's had enough of you and that last time was in fact the last straw.
The last straw?
Did you even notice that for the longest time, ever since he was a kid, he's been upset with the choices you've made for him? You were the one that forced him to leave all his friends to go to some private high school, and then sent him to Harvard to study for something he never cared for. And not just things like that, but with his first girlfriend, you told her off even though she was going to be entering trade school and everything. But you didn't view that as a higher education and forced her to break up with him.
I was just making sure that he ended up with someone who would match his level.
And that ex-girlfriend of his turned out to become a very famous dress designer. She ended up going to a fashion trade school, and after that was taken on by a very famous wedding dress studio, where she's now working as a very well-paid tailor making dresses for all kinds of celebrities. Did you know that?
That's bullcrap, right?
And she's going to be the one making my dress for the day I get married to your son. Right now, she's happily married to a man that's given her a wonderful home to live in, and in return, she had 3 kids with him. And they are all living peacefully together. I get that it's important to have an education and everything like that, but when you have things like a great personality and a smart head on your body, you don't really have to worry about things like elite colleges and snotty things like that. I mean, Lorraine, have you even cared about anything else regarding your son besides his education?
Of course I have. I'm his mom, after all.
But you didn't know a thing about the company he was hired into, correct?
Well, I just assumed that since he graduated from Harvard and was on a path to finding a great job for himself like his father, I didn't have to worry about what kind of company it is and who runs it.
Well, just be aware that the money he's been sending you these past few years is going to stop as well.
Huh? He's going to stop sending me my money?
Your money? He said he's cutting ties to you, and that's what happens when someone cuts ties to someone else.
But that's what's going to happen to me in my life, then?
Well, I'm not sure. But the 2 of us are going to get married, and shortly after that, we'll no longer really need to think about you anymore.
It's not too late for me yet, right? It's okay for me to come over to your place now and come see you two, right? I'm going to make things right again between all of us.
Make things right again? How's that supposed to work when things were never right to begin with? We were supposed to start out with everything being cool and just having a conversation amongst each other, but instead, you splashed me with ice-cold water and told me to get lost.
And I am so sorry about that. I will make all of that up to you, I promise.
I'm glad we were able to meet at least one time in person where we both got to see our true nature.
Don't say one time, though. From now on, I want us to meet each other all the time.
We told you that we're cutting ties to you, right? Which is unfortunate since we only just really met. But because of that, I'm going to have to say goodbye to you. So, goodbye forever, Lorraine. Told Lorraine farewell, and then right after that last message, I blocked her number. And right after that, I deleted her contact information and everything. Richie did the same as me and blocked both her number and deleted all her information. And ever since we both did that, we haven't had to worry anymore about her trying to get in touch with us again, and that's left us both with a lot of peace of mind. As of right now, Lorraine is living life without the money her son would send her, only being able to use the money her husband left her from now on. And as she's doing so, trying not to spend too much of the remaining money, she's been looking at old photo albums of her son and crying, thinking about the past she had. I guess now that she's pretty much lost the one thing that made the present so nice to her, she's going to have to live in the past forever now, with the younger version of Richie that she bragged about so much.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
The invitation for my wedding should have arrived by now, correct? Please make sure to say no to the RSPV, please. We don't need you coming to my wedding after all.
What? Even though you guys went through all the effort of sending me this invitation?
That was only sent to you because I had no choice. At the most recent class reunion, I told everyone that I was getting married, right? And at the time, I said that I'd be inviting everyone from my class. Well, I went ahead and did all of that before I realized that you were in my class as well.
But everyone else says that they're going, so why do I have to be the one to stay away?
Because we don't need some ugly-looking emo like yourself bringing down the vibes of my wedding. If you were to actually come, the whole atmosphere would become cold and people would want to leave. So please, just like with the graduation ceremony years ago, read the air and stay away.
What?
I never thought that you would actually show up to this ceremony after everything, so I was laughing my butt off watching you walk across the stage. I'm sure you felt the same way as everyone else did when you brought down everyone's feelings that day, right? That's why everyone started to whisper for you to go home over and over as you stepped off the stage. But you actually did leave right after you grabbed your diploma, which none of us actually saw coming.
I remember what was going on that day myself. I was wondering then why everyone kept telling me to go home like that, and it made me feel very sad and unwanted. All of my friends were telling me not to worry about what you were saying, but I couldn't hold myself together and started to cry before I went home.
I know that was back in high school, and things have changed by a lot now, but ugly people like you stay ugly. No matter how much makeup you lath on yourself, you will never be able to get rid of that dark and ugly character you have. And to think that right now, after so many years have gone by, you're still working at base level job? The gas station, was it? I suppose that's the perfect job for you ugly emos then, huh?
Huh? I never really told you about what job I have currently, did I?
Well, I've heard from other people what you're doing. And what they've said is that you're too old now to still be working at a gas station. There's no way I'm going to let such a low life as yourself come to my wedding of all things. That is the wedding for a high school beauty contest winner who also happened to be the most popular woman in school after all.
I may not have changed much, but neither of you, really, Georgia. You were always belittling people like that, so I guess none of us have really changed much, have we?
Oh, sorry, hold on there. I'm not making fun of you right now because I want to. You've just chosen to continue living life below me as an ugly emo this whole time, Oakley. Now please make sure to say no to that invitation for me. I'll let everyone know on the day of that you ended up having to work a shift on the gas station that day, and that's why you couldn't make it. Miss Ugly, are you really not able to make it to my daughter's wedding that's coming up really soon? You made sure to take the day off that day, right?
Actually, there were some other things that showed up on that date. That's why I'm not going to be able to attend that day.
Oh, is that right? Is there no way you can say that you have an important wedding to go that day and maybe postpone some of the other things? It's going to be my daughter's wedding of all things, and I'd really like a person as important as you to be there.
What?
Georgia has already told me that she wanted and invited everyone from her class back in high school. I think the more people she has from back then coming to see her wedding, the more happy she'll be and the better memories she'll make. So could you please find some way to go to the wedding that day? I'm sure you don't want to keep listening to her mom go on and on about having you come to her wedding. But I'd really love for this wedding to go perfectly for her, and you would be able to make that possible.
You really are such a kind woman, Catherine. But you really don't have to be too worried about this. Even if the both of us were in the same graduating class together, her and I weren't all that close back in the day. I don't think it will bother her at all if I don't make it to the wedding.
Please, don't think something like that, Miss Oakley. There is also my husband and myself, right? Him and I are always talking about how so much you've done for us, so we'd really love for you to be there on our behalf. So, would you please?
I never thought I'd be asked this many times by you to be at your daughter's wedding of all things. You've always been a key member of the team for so long now, so it's a bit difficult for me to say no when you've asked so many times.
It should be. It should be. You have been working so much lately that you should take the day off to come and see my daughter get married. And if it's really going to be difficult for you to change plans around, then at least make around 10 minutes to just pop your head in. I would really like for as many people as possible to come and see my baby girl in her wedding dress.
Well, if that's all right by you, then I suppose I can come and pop my head in real quick. Then I'll be able to say to the groom and introduce myself and be off. If that's all right with you, then that'll be the plan I make.
That would be completely fine with me. Oh, I never thought that at my daughter's own wedding, she'd be able to have you as a guest and finally be able to see the important side of one of her old high school friends. Oh, anyways, I'll be waiting for you on the day of her wedding then.
Why the hell have you come here, you ugly emo? I never asked for you to be at my wedding! Get the hell out of here, you low-life loser!
I shouldn't even have to be told to leave, as you can already see me leaving now. Also, what you just did was horrible. You came up behind me and pushed me right into the shallow pool that's at the front of the wedding hall.
Tell me how that was horrible of me. I was just making sure that my wedding is well-defined, is all.
Huh? That was you defending your wedding?
You came all the way out here with the intent of ruining my wedding, so I had to act before any of that could actually happen. The moment I found out where the terrorist was, I thought about what I could do to send them away and act. This is what normally happens to people like you, right?
Who are you calling a terrorist? What do you mean I came here to ruin your wedding as well? Why would I ever come here with the goal of doing that to you?
Stop trying to talk your way out of what you plan to do now, you terrorist! I told you well before today not to come to my wedding, right? And you still came walking right in like that warning was never given to you. I know you're only here for one reason, and that's to get in the way of my perfect day.
What?
I'm sure I hurt your feelings by making fun of the fact that you work at a gas station, right? That's why, with all that pent-up anger you have for me now, you've come here to ruin the most important day of my life. That's something I can definitely see an emo like you doing.
I told you that's not why I'm here, Georgia. I came here just to pop my head in and say hi. I get that you really, really hate me for many, many reasons. So to try and keep us from getting into any fights, I was just coming for a few minutes with the plan of going right back home.
Huh? Are you trying to piss me off now by saying that you, a lowlife, came all the way here with the intent of saying hi before going back home? Ah! I never said that I needed an ugly emo like yourself here saying hi to any of my guests. You're literally nothing compared to me, you loser. Yet you came here thinking it'd be alright even if it were for a couple of minutes? I'm not sure how much more of a presumptuous action I can handle. Oh.
Presumptuous? I was not doing anything cheeky by coming here for a few minutes. I understand that for a very long time now you have hated me, all right? But you can't continue to act like a child by attacking me when you are old enough to be put in jail for things like that.
Oh, is the gas station employee who's in her late 20s now going to start preaching to me about what's right and what's wrong? Someone like me who's getting married to a man who works as an elite for a massive company. Someone like me who's going to live the rest of their life as a housewife in the penthouse in one of the tallest buildings in this city has ever seen. Don't make me pee myself by trying to act all smart, you low-life part-timer.
So you really are just going to continue with the belittlement until the day you die, huh? I can really tell now that no matter what I try and say to you, you'll never listen to me.
So you finally come around to realizing that someone like me can't ever understand the crazed thoughts of a lowlife? Well, now that you've realized your loss, go ahead and leave this place in your completely drenched dress. My wedding is starting really soon here, so I want you gone before that happens.
I'm going home, all right? You don't have to keep telling me to. But before I go outside, can you at least give me a towel or something? I won't even be able to ride in a taxi with how wet I am right now.
Oh, wow. Just what I expected from a lowlife. You're like a homeless beggar asking me for a towel right now so that you can dry yourself off.
Huh?
I know what this is all about now. You came to my wedding today to try and get to all the really delicious food I'll have prepared for everyone today, right? You must only ever get to eat all the day-old stale food that comes out of the gas station, right? So, you thought that today you'd be able to come sneak into my wedding looking to grab yourself a bite or two of this really delicious food.
What?
But I'm really sorry, Oakley. There's no amount of food here that I'd be willing to serve to a low-life beggar such as yourself. So, would you please give up now and leave already?
Would you frickin' stop it with all this belittlement, please? Can't you see how far you've gone now, calling me a homeless beggar and all that, on top of calling me a terrorist?
Huh? What's with that attitude? The one that came to my wedding after being told not to come was you. I won't have an ugly emo coming to my wedding. There's not a chair prepared for you here. Not for the wedding and not for the lunch.
Alright, I'm leaving then.
Hurry the hell up, loser. I told you from the very beginning not to come here. Yet this gas station working lowlife of an ugly emo came all the way out here causing me trouble. A massive loser like yourself needs to keep eating that crappy gas station food for the rest of your life.
Then your mother is going home as well.
What?
I actually quite enjoyed my job at the gas station and find the food here to be really nice. But I'm sorry, however, that your low-life mother has caused you so much embarrassment.
My mother? Wait, what?
Everyone has different views, I know that. So, I'm not going to say anything to you about your views on who is a lowlife and who's working stupid jobs, even if I am your own mother. But there is one thing a mother like me can say, and that's that you're pushing someone into a shallow pool like that is unacceptable.
Wait a second. You're my mom? What? Is that really you, Mom? Why the hell would my mom be texting me through that loser's phone right now?
I couldn't watch what was going on anymore, so I went and took Miss Oakley's phone from her. I never ever thought that even my daughter could be vicious to someone else, as you've been to someone like her. I'm so embarrassed by you right now that I had to do something about this.
What?
You've really shown me your true side, Georgia. The side of you that would push someone as important as Miss Oakley into the water. When I saw that happen, I had no idea what to do or say because I had frozen up out of shock.
Wait a second, Mom. Why do you keep calling her Miss Oakley? Why are you being so polite to such a low-life scum as her? Who said she could be treated that way?
Well, she happens to be the owner of the company that runs the gas station I work for. I don't care that you have such feelings against her and that you've carried all the way from high school. She's my boss and I will treat her as such. And that's the reason why I call her Miss Oakley instead of viewing her as your old classmate.
Huh? Your boss? Wait, Mom, you're working at a gas station right now? And you're telling me that Oakley's the owner of that gas station?
That's what I'm saying. I told you a while ago that I was going to start working again, right? All of my kids were finally out of the house, and I had nothing to do with all this time besides sit around and watch TV. I talked with your dad a little bit about it, and we agreed that I should get myself a part-time job, which is where I am right now.
I heard about all of that, but I never knew you were working at a gas station. I was thinking you worked for a supermarket or a cafe in the neighborhood. I was thinking that you of this whole time, but you've actually been working at a gas station?
I was thinking about working at a place like the local grocery store as well, but then your dad gave me some advice. He told me that working at places such as that, where everyone else around me is old, would require me to pick up slacks for all of them. He then recommended that I go somewhere lots of young people work, as the workload would be more even there.
So then you decided on working for a gas station?
A lot of the gas stations around our house looks for part-time workers all the time, but when I went to the one closest to the house, I never thought I'd be hearing about how the owner of the company was Miss Oakley. And as of right now, she's running around 12 different gas stations, so I have to really respect her for that, because she doesn't even hand off orders to people below her to run her gas stations. She will go to each and every one of them with all of the time, making sure the management is in shape and that the rest of the employees are doing their jobs well.
What?
From what I've heard, she's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. But even with all that money she's making sure it doesn't all get to her by coming out to be with the people that makes her business happen. Because of that, I have a lot of fun working at the gas station and always feel as though even my voice is heard.
Huh?
At this particular gas station, there are a lot of high schoolers and college students working part-time. There are also people that want to become actors working part-time here, and those that were down on their luck, but are trying to improve their lives now. I really enjoy talking to and working with all different kinds of people from all different backgrounds, as it makes the day go by and I learn plenty of new things. And considering I'm pretty far up in ages now, a lot of the youngsters there will teach me how to use new features on my smartphone and such.
Oh, you seem so happy about being there.
I get to meet all kinds of people from our part of the city as well that comes in to get snacks and drinks. I get to see little kids that I've never really gotten talking to with anymore, and some old friends that I haven't seen in so long. Being able to have so much social interaction with everyone makes this part of my life so enjoyable. But my own daughter is saying someone like myself is a low life because of where I work. There have always been people around making fun of that work part-times at base level jobs. But the fact that I've now had to learn my own daughter is just like those narrow-minded people breaks my heart.
Hold on,
I'm going home as well now. I was expecting to cry and sob a lot today at my daughter's wedding as I watched her marry her love, and that's why I brought this little towel and handkerchief. But to think I'd have to be using them to dry my boss off at the front of the building. I'm going to take Miss Oakley home in my car now so that she doesn't have to worry about getting a taxi.
What? You're actually going home? Hold on now. Are you being serious right now?
Of course I'm serious. You were just being serious with my boss a little bit ago, right? That low-life gas station workers like her should get lost.
Oh, wait, Mom, that was... I might have gotten carried away. I didn't actually think that you'd take something like me saying to go home personally as well. Now, come on, Mom. You can stop joking about going home with her, alright? There's no way you'd let your daughter have a wedding without her mother around, right?
I sure haven't ever seen a wedding before where the mother was told to leave before it started. Then perhaps you'd better off just canceling the wedding so that something like that won't have to happen.
Huh.
And then you can have a talk with your fiancé Marcus about why the wedding was canceled.
Wait. there's no way this wedding is being cancelled. All of our friends and family are here and ready to go now. And why are you even talking about Marcus right now, Mom?
Well, that's because he's standing right beside Miss Oakley and myself right now.
Marcus is?
When he saw me running over to see Miss Oakley, he wanted to see what was going on and came rushing over as well. He said to her, "Are you alright, Miss Oakley?" and things like that as he came up. He apparently saw what you did to her as well. So right now he has his jacket over Miss Oakley, trying to keep her warm so that she doesn't catch a cold or anything. I am so shocked that a kind and selfless man such as him thought it would be a good idea to marry you.
wait a sec. Why is my fiance calling her Miss Oakley as well?
How about you ask your fiance about that? Now both my boss and I are going to be heading home. You go and choose whether you still want to have your wedding or if you rather just cancel it and save yourself some of the embarrassment. I'm not going to help out with that choice though.
Hey! There's no way, right? There's no way that my Marcus is working part-time at one of your gas station. That has to be some kind of messed up joke, right? You haven't hired my fiance to work for you, right?
Right now, Marcus is working for another one of my gas stations on the other side of the city. Not only has he been working for me for a while now, but he's really enjoyed his job there and gets all the work he's asked to done in a very efficient manner. But I never thought that that man would end up being your fiancé of all people.
No way. So then everything he's been saying to me is true?
So you were just about to marry the guy, yet you had no idea what he was doing for work or anything?
I didn't have to know. I was believing everything he had told me. He told me he came from a really strong university and he was working for a massive company. He even told me about how efficient he was with his work, making him the top employees with his place of work. He told me all of that, hence why I chose to get married to him. Yet, instead, it turns out he's really been working at a gas station this whole time. He never told me that a year ago, the company he was working for had got some layoffs and he was let go.
How about you calm down there, Georgia? Have you really not heard the rest of the story from him? The company may have laid him off, but that was only before it was bought out by an even better company. And that company has been asking him to go and work for them now that they see his potential. He has been in the works of going to their interviews, but in the meantime, he's been relaxing while working for me.
Who cares about all that? That doesn't change the fact that he was let go by the previous company and had to work for you at a gas station. He shouldn't have lied to me about working at a gas station, right?
I'm sure it wasn't right for him to hide that fact from you.
Who would want to marry a man like him? I'm done. I don't want him anymore. I'm canceling this wedding, and from here on out, I am no longer together.
What? So you're actually canceling the wedding?
Well, of course. I would never get married to this man that works part-time at a gas station, and my mom already went home as well. I don't want to have this wedding if I won't be able to brag to all my friends about the man I've married anymore. I'm canceling this marriage and this wedding right now.
I'm not really sure you should have been getting married so that you had something to brag about in the first place, but...
Shut up! Don't start to talk like that to me just because you make some decent money. Don't even try picking on me now just because my mom works for you.
I'm not trying to be rude to you, and I'm definitely not picking on you either. Georgia, the way you are now is really disappointing. No matter what anyone tries to say to you, you just go off the rails and start fighting everything. Oh, well, I guess if you want to keep throwing a fit like that, then please go right ahead and cancel that wedding. And make sure to tell your hard-working fiancé that things are off as well.
What the hell is that attitude?
And after all those invites you sent out to have the whole high school class here, the most popular woman from high school's wedding was today. I'm sure a lot of people were hoping to see something really amazing here, but now it's being canceled. And the mother of said popular woman ran back home. I really want to see how you're going to explain to everyone there why you're having that wedding canceled.
Yeah, you! Are you playing with me right now? I bet you're smiling and laughing right now watching me go through all this crap like I deserve it or something, right? I'll tell you right now that what's happening between you and I is going to stay a secret. You and I will keep this secret that I'm leaving my fiancé because he works at a gas station. Don't you ever tell a single person why this wedding is really over with.
What should I do here? You and I aren't that close to one another, so will I really keep such a tremendous promise with you?
What? What?
Now you have fun telling all the staff that the wedding is canceled. Good work today. I'm going to stop talking to you now. Georgia tried her best to tell everyone that her wedding was being canceled due to her mother having a bad fall and needing to go to the hospital. She then went and told her fiancé that things were off because he had lied to her about being laid off and having to come work for me at a gas station. He was pretty upset by what happened there, but he knew it was partially his fault for not telling her the truth when things happened. But just a few days later, he received a call from the company he was interviewing with, and they told him he had gotten the job. It turned out that the new company who had bought the company he was laid off from heard stories about his skills from all the employees they took on, and so they wanted him back and moved into the position of department manager. He was also given a raise due to all the troubles he had faced from being laid off during what one could call a corporate buyout of the last company. And that, to me, sounds like a great deal. When Georgia learned about how he got that new job within the massive new company, she ran back to him hoping they could get back together. But by that point, he was totally over her and said for her to get the hell away from him. This was also around the time a lot of the guests from Georgia's canceled wedding began to catch on to what the real reason was for the wedding being canceled. Now, Georgia has been trying to get a hold of her mom to say that she was sorry for what she'd done and all the lying. But to this day, her mom has still managed to ignore all those calls and texts.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Cassidy, where are you right now? Mom is really worried about where you've ran off to. It's the day of your meeting with the guy, and yet you're nowhere to be found.
Mom is still trying to find where I am. I already told her that I'm not going to meet with that guy.
What? Are you going to no-show for the meeting they set up for you?
That's what I've decided. I'm not going to let my parents be the ones to decide who I go out with. That's boring and lame. I want to live a life that I get to decide. So I'm going to wait to marry a man that I find fit for myself instead.
Huh? What are we even talking about right now? You were the one that wanted Mom and Dad to find you a partner to begin with, right? You made such a big deal about how you wanted to marry a man with a lot of money and asked Mom and Dad to look for a man like that for you. That's why Mom and Dad went through all the effort to get this meeting ready for you so that you could see the guy they think you'll like.
And at the time, the goal was to get married to a good-looking man with a lot of money. But look, after making such a big deal out of it, I ran into the man I am destined for. That's when I realized everything I needed to. It's not about money when it comes to marriage. It's all about the love and care that they show you.
Please don't tell me you went out and found yourself a male host and are planning to marry him over one time of him showing you some attention?
What? Why do you know about something like that? I never told anyone in the family, including you, that I've been paying to see male hosts.
There was something that had fallen right in front of your bedroom door. A card that you must have received from one of those hosts, and it was bedazzled. Also, you've been recently coming home at like 3 or 4 in the morning pretty often. You often smell of pure liquor every time. I knew right away what was going on there.
Wow, you're like a detective.
As long as the both of you actually love one another, that's fine. But before you run off with a man like that, you need to deal with the other responsibilities you have, please. You have a meeting with a man you were asking Mom and Dad to look for, right? You need to go to both Mom and Dad and that man and apologize to them before saying you're no longer interested. That's the least you can do for them all.
What? I'm not doing any of that. I can apologize to them all I want, but they're going to be pissed at me for this. So that's why I'd like you to go to all of them and tell them that I'm not coming today and that I'm sorry about it.
Huh? Why do I have to do something like that for you?
Well, you're my older sister, and your job is to take responsibility for your cute little sister. So with that, please take care of things back home. Today I have a date with Jake at Mouse World. Hey, Helena, please listen. I finally got something from Cassidy. She told me that she's not coming to today's meeting at all now. She said she found herself the man she's destined for and will be marrying him.
Just a second ago, she was telling me all about that. It seems as though the male host she's been going out with recently has taken a hold of her heart.
A male host? The man she's destined for is a male host of all people?
She said she finally came around to realizing that love is more important than money. So because of that, she wanted to tell you to cancel the meeting today with the man you had planned for her, and to do it as soon as possible. And after today, you should probably go apologize to him for it.
But, I could never go through with canceling this meeting now. The man I had prepared for her is someone I had to pull a lot of strings with to get to go to this meeting. He happens to be a businessman that's helping run his family's company right now. And on top of that, he happens to be the son of a very important customer to your dad. So there's no way I'm going to be able to cancel this meeting on him now.
Wait, really? Then we're going to have to go and get Cassidy and have her go to meet him right away. I'll tell her to go back home right now.
No, it's no use trying to do that with her now. I'm not even able to get her to read the texts I'm sending to her anymore.
What?
I might have tried too hard to get a hold of her and really drove her off. The last thing she said to me was that if I'm going to be so upset about her, then she's not coming back home. And since that text, she hasn't read anything and won't pick up her phone to my calls either. Your dad has even tried calling her and she won't pick up for him either.
No way! She's not reading any more of my texts that I've sent. I think she's gone and blocked me, actually.
I knew this would happen with her. If this is how things are going to be, then it's up to you. I want you to go to that man we have waiting. I want you to go and meet with that CEO's son right now for your sister.
Huh? Why do I have to go see him?
You're already old enough now, and this is the perfect chance for you to find a good man to marry. He happens to be the son of a CEO and helps run the family business with his dad. If you and him get along, then you'll be set for life. He's in his 50s now, but he is a good-looking man, and I think you'll like him.
Hold your horses. He's in his 50s right now? I'm only 28 years old, Mom.
You'll be fine. Karen happens to be married to a man who is 45 years older than her. Compared to her, you're only around 22 years younger than him, so you're fine.
That does not make me feel any better about seeing him. And the other thing is that I'm not even wanting to get married right now.
Oh, just shut up already and get yourself prepared to go see him. Your little sister went and canceled last minute on him, and you, being her older sister, means you have to take over for her. It's your job.
Huh?
You're the older sister, right? If your little sister doesn't want to do something anymore, then you step in to do it for her. That's what it means to be an older sister.
For crying out loud, Mom, ever since I was little, you've always been forcing me to do everything for her, all because I'm her older sister. I'm tired of having to be the one to clean up after all of Cassidy's messes.
Excuse me?
I never thought the day would come where you'd actually force me to clean up a mess like this for her. Having to go out with the man she was crying for? Who the hell have you thought I am this whole time, Mom? Every dang time my little sister causes trouble or makes an accident, you send me in to clean up the mess. I'm not Cassidy's janitor.
What is with that attitude of yours? When have I ever treated you like her janitor?
You've been treating me like that ever since she was born. Every time she got yelled at in school, and you blamed me for it, saying I wasn't watching her close enough. Why the hell did I have to act like her parent at school and apologize for everything she did? And what about the times that Cassidy would break her friends' toys? You would blame me for not being there to manage how she handled the toys. And then would take my allowance away and use it to pay for new toys. I'm sick and tired of being there to take blame for everything she does.
Shut up right now! This is what it means to be an older sister. Now you cut it out with all that back-talking and get your ass ready to go see that man. If you don't, I'm going to have you kicked out of this house.
What did you say to me?
You are too old now to not be married yet, and instead all you've been doing is living in your parents' house. If you want to keep living your life like that, the least you can do is shut up and be useful to your parents. You are going to see that man now that Cassidy isn't going. Do you hear me, Helena? I want you to make everything work with him and make him your husband so that you don't have to rely on your dad and I anymore. And once you and him have your marriage, I want you sending your dad and I $2,000 every month.
Huh? Enough! Since when?
Since when what?
Since when did this become about me sending you guys any money? This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
I was expecting my young and pretty Cassidy to be the one to marry that man, but now I'm no longer able to get any response from her. So I'm going to make you responsible for her actions, and we'll have you marry him now and send us our money. You marry that man, and you pay us every month as a way of being as good of a daughter to us as Cassidy was. Helena, today I'm going to be coming back to Mom and Dad's house.
Cassidy?
Long time no see, right? Have you been doing okay?
Where have you been all this time? Ever since that day you never talked to me. We've had no clue about where you went. I thought you died or been kidnapped or something. Yet after 5 years, you're just gonna come back to Mom and Dad's like nothing ever happened?
Man, I'm sorry about whatever happened back then. I guess I pissed Mom and Dad off a lot more than I'd first imagined. I was too afraid to go back home to them, so that day I chose to start living with my boyfriend.
Boyfriend? Are you talking about the male host you were after then?
That's right. I went and stayed at Jake's house. Then he and I got engaged, but then we broke up. But then we got back together again. A lot has happened in the past 5 years. But the next big thing that's happened is I've become pregnant with his kid. That's why I've planned to tell all of you guys about how we've gotten married and are having a baby when I'm home.
What? You got married and now you're pregnant?
So much has happened to me that I'm sure you're shocked, right? When I showed Mom and Dad my big belly, they were both just as shocked as you are.
You showed them your belly already. Wait, so then you're already at the house then?
That's what I've been trying to say. And that's why I said starting today, I'd be back in their house. Just a bit ago, I got back from my 5 years vacation. I was assuming they would never let me back into the house again, but they both cried when they saw me and were so happy.
I'm sure they were. For some reason or another, Mom and Dad just love you so much that they'd do anything for you. And while you've been gone, you got married and are going to give birth to their grandchild. All of their wishes as your parents have come true by this point.
And this is all thanks to you, Helena. Thank you so much for being a single woman this whole time. Because of that, both Mom and Dad were able to let me right into the house without even thinking about it.
Huh?
Man, I was surprised by that. I had given you the chance to land yourself a man with all that money and a very bright future. But he told you no when you went to see him? You were told that you weren't his type by an old geezer in his 50s? That pretty much means you're screwed as a woman.
What? Well, he was expecting to be marrying a 22-year-old woman who never had any experience with a man before, and that's what Mom told him. However, I happened to be 28 at the time, and that wasn't part of the deal, so of course he'd say no to me.
And since then, you've been alone with not a single man interested in you, right? That is too crazy. No wonder Mom and Dad were so happy to have me come back to them after 5 years. Mom told me she was getting so fed up with a worthless daughter like you who never did anything for her parents. She then told me that she never expected to see her baby's face again, so this is the happiest she's felt in a long time.
That's just like Mom and Dad to be the most cruel people in the family. I never turned out to be the child they wanted, so they abandoned me and put all their love and care into you.
And so, Helena? About them not caring about you any from today, you're no longer allowed back in this house. I'm going to make sure that the parasite who's been living off her parents for far too long without ever finding herself a man or making any kids is gone for good.
Huh?
Well, Mom and Dad both told me that it would be wonderful if after giving birth to my baby, I just lived with them forever. So I gave my man a call about it. And he told me that if things are going okay after the birth, it would be totally okay to live with my parents. So that means he's going to need room for all his things in this house, too.
So what you're saying is that in order to accommodate your husband now, you're going to give him my room?
That's right. I'm so sorry that I'm always so selfish and both Mom and Dad do everything for me.
But you've always been such a loser ever since you were a little girl, so it's not my fault everyone has grown tired of you and wants you gone.
Huh?
I'm going to take all your crap now and throw it outside the house for you, all right? A parasite your age needs to learn that you don't get access to everything anymore. Especially when your cute and loved little sister needs it more. So it's time for you to go. I really hope that you